would become president unless there was somebody like Donald Trump before him.
Yeah. Well, of course, it was an anti-Trump vote.
By the way, he would have never won that election otherwise. He wouldn't have been the Democratic nominee otherwise.
Are we on right now?
We are not on right now, but we're about to do.
Okay, let me explain something. Joel, no matter what we talk about,
We'll bring it up.
Hold on.
Kill the mic.
That's
no matter what we talk about, remember, during breaks and every time we're streaming.
Twitter.
Just give me your Twitter and I'll follow you.
Find us right now at 630 KHOW. Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Deposit. That's deposit. Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win with a $12K a day giveaway.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Okay, I'm sure when I talk about this, there will be those who say it's political. It's not. It is not political. It's happening in the world, and it has a direct bearing on our freedoms and what's going to happen to us. No, I'm serious. I
smell the hate mail.
Just stop. I don't get on soapboxes and try to change people's minds about anything. I just tell them what's happening, and I'm seldom wrong. I told you that the scenario would be rewritten, the narrative would be rewritten after the election to show that the administration is having a positive effect on COVID. And that's when he said, let the states take over. And that's when all of the states, Republican and Democrat, Republican had already eased a lot, and the Democratic states started easing restrictions on COVID. Now, some held out, but now even California is doing away with the mask mandate, and the only bastion left is the fight on face masks on kids. But no matter what, we had healthcare workers crying that hospitals were being overrun. I swear to goodness, if you look at this article or you look it up, I'm telling you the truth. To further the positive narrative, this is not political. This is what's happening in our lives. I hope people are strong enough not to want to be manipulated by anyone. Conservative, progressive, liberal, whatever. Don't be manipulated. I think Trump is a great manipulator. I think Biden is a great manipulator. I think Pelosi, I think OAC, I think they all manipulate. What I'm asking you is to think for yourself. Immediately following the election, they changed the PCR test for more amplifications to show less cases. In other words, to less amplification. So the PCR test would not keep going after a certain number of CTs, threshold cycles. They would stop. Whereas before, they were picking up the minutest particles that would test you positive, even though you would never have symptoms or get sick. So immediately, cases started to drop. Now, further, the hospital still said, we have a crisis. This was just announced yesterday or on the 7th. I want you to look it up. The Biden administration has appointed a task force. And what do you think the main goal of the task force is? It's to go out to hospitals and recalculate the number of admissions and deaths due to COVID. What does that mean? That means... And I hope you're listening, folks, and please spare me. Don't even bother emailing me saying I'm political. This is not political. I am telling you right now, we are being manipulated. We are always manipulated, by the way, so it's not just because it's a Democratic administration. We're manipulated by Republicans, too. Yes, believe it or not, don't choke and fall off your chair if you're Republican. We're manipulated back and forth. Okay, the Biden administration is recalculating the deaths and admissions for COVID. Here's what they are charged to do. They want to separate people who were admitted to hospitals with COVID from those who are admitted for COVID.
We've talked about this forever.
But we've never talked about the president wanting to redo the numbers, Mark. We have never done that. That is a big deal because although people have said that before, no one ever revised any numbers. They still keep doling out the fear, don't they? Okay. His task force will also look at deaths. Those who died from COVID compared to those who died with COVID. Now, why do you think? Because he said, if this many people die under you, you shouldn't be president. That's what he said to Trump.
Well, he's had a lot more die under him than Trump did.
That's why this task force now is going to rewrite the narrative. Like it or not, yeah, I'm talking about it because it is a major, major development. And you never heard about this anywhere in mainstream media. Not once.
It's just like when they changed the entire definition of vaccination.
So, I'd like you, by the way, that wasn't so much to make the administration look good or bad, or to make someone look good or bad. The reason they changed the definition of vaccination is because they didn't want to confuse people, and they wanted more people to get vaccinated. They didn't want to say one and done. So therefore, they changed the definition.
No, they said over a year ago, in fact, I can quote the vice president, if you get the vaccination, you can't give it and you can't get it.
That's right.
Then they changed it to where it doesn't mean that anymore.
That's right.
It means it protects you.
Yeah, but they did that to get more people to use it because they didn't want people using that as an excuse not to. Anyway, I want we solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. My show is all about that. And as I said, it's about time I raise the intelligence of my audience when it comes to certain issues. Sometimes I skirt away from things, and I skirt away from them because I'm afraid I might get an email saying, Tom, why don't you solve problems and stop speaking politics? I'm not speaking politics because the truth is I hate all politicians. That's the truth. I don't hate them personally. I hate what they stand for, which is power. Power for their party. It doesn't matter who's in. That they believe based on their party. It doesn't matter how devout of a person you are against abortion, you'll be a Democrat and overlook it for politics. It doesn't matter how devout you are on certain things, and you'll become Republican no matter what. I have said this before, being a Democrat or Republican trumps everything in a person's life. It has even broken up friendships, lifelong friendships, and marriages. It has. So I'm not trying to get you to be one or the other. I don't want you to be. I'd rather you be nothing. I wish we didn't have what we have right now. So here's the deal, though. Be ready for the hospital numbers to come down, way down. I've said this before, and I keep saying it, and every time I say it, I tell you to write it down and tell me I'm wrong. I told you there would be major studies. Of course, everyone said this, Mark, that the shutdown did not work and did more harm than good. Johns Hopkins came out with that study. Guess what? Not one mainstream media outlet has covered it. Not one.
The biggest one through all this, it got me, is natural immunity is no good, doesn't work. It was the most ridiculous thing. They acted like natural immunity was almost a bad thing.
Now,
they didn't even want to say it existed.
Now, I read an article about that from this same article that talked about recalculating COVID. And they make sense. They said a lot of people who claimed to have natural immunity did not have it. And they found out in tests. And why is it? The ones that they found out did not have natural immunity, guess what? They were never actually tested for COVID when they were sick. So now some medical professionals and healthcare workers are saying some people got very sick. They assumed they have COVID. They get over it and now assume they have antibodies when in actuality they never had COVID. Yep. I mean that's interesting because I was sick and got tested twice, no COVID, but I had every single symptom. Mark, every single symptoms though, Doc, and in fact I was having night sweats, right? And then I read the next day one common symptom everyone seems to be baffled by is the night sweats.
With Omicron, yeah.
Yeah. And so I had every symptom. I got tested 3 times, home tests and PCR tests. What do you think, Doc?
I think you had a bad flu.
Not COVID.
Not COVID. Obviously, if you had a PCR test, I doubt you had COVID.
Okay. So, but a lot of people believe they've had it and
yeah.
never had it because they didn't get tested. And therefore, they don't have natural antibodies. But that's a good argument for not being sure. You should be tested for antibodies.
So our T cells remember how to make the antibodies. If you get the vaccination, does it work the same way? In other words,
no.
Do the T cells remember when it's introduced again?
Doc, doesn't it, your body does not carry the antibodies with the vaccine, I was told. I was told you don't carry antibodies from the vaccine. You carry a sensitivity to something that makes the antibodies as soon as you're invaded.
Right.
Okay. So it's different from conventional vaccines.
Well,
conventional vaccines trigger antibodies immediately.
Well, so does the COVID vaccine.
That's not what I was told. I was told it's something about a protein, and then when that's present, you then start making them.
Well, the protein is what triggers the antibody response.
That's right, but you don't have the okay. When you walk out of that hospital a week later, if they tested you for antibodies, I was told they won't be able to tell if you had the vaccine. Doc,
let me think about this.
And the reason is you weren't invaded because now I don't know if I'm right or wrong because I read. I'm not an expert. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I was told because I said this. If I'm vaccinated, which I am, I said, can I get tested to see if I had the flu? And they said, yes, you can. I said, but what about the vaccine? They said the vaccine will not show antibodies.
Right. What the vaccine does is it produces a protein which blocks the virus from attacking your cells.
Okay, so it's not going to show antibodies.
Correct.
Yeah, so I can go now to see if I ever had it by looking for the presence of antibodies. How much does that test cost?
I don't know.
I think we all need to move past it. And another thing I'd love to do, and I've asked this before, what are some things we can all get together on and really help each other? I mean, that's what this show's all about. Without division, it seems like every freaking issue turns out to be political and is making me sick. Everything. It's like no matter what you talk about. Now, Alessandro, your car was hit in a parking lot?
Yes, it was. I went to the Safeway store on Quebec Street. And I parked my car. Next to me, there was like a big...
Hey, they have cameras in that parking lot, right?
Yeah, they do. But the problem is, I made a report to the police.
All right, hold on. Alessandro, hold on. We'll come right back to you.
With a new year comes new ways to...
I switched that out. That's why that's up there. So I'll do that.
Okay, we're going to have to let
Follow any reason? Yeah, because we have guests. Just like we
Oh!
George or anybody.
Health profile has to mature before we can use it.
Make sense?
Okay, I get that. Okay.
I see, said the blind.
No, I didn't understand what you were talking about now. I see as far as the spots. Rocky Mountain IV Medics. What the heck are they? Well, we're talking about health, right? I love Rocky Mountain IV Medics. I use Rocky Mountain IV Medics. I do. They come to my studio. They can come to your home. They can come to your office. Why would you do that? Because it's the most common therapy for almost anything that goes wrong. Anything. You know, hangovers, migraines, if you have COVID, if you have the flu, it helps get you over the hump. It's always good to have hydration therapy, and they can even target hydration therapy to what you have. RockyMountainIVMedics.com. If you call or text this number, they can make same-day, sometimes same-hour appointments. 720-987-2155. 720-987-2155.
Carpet, hardwood, laminate, tile. The guys at SimplyFloorLink.com got you covered. They'll actually bring the showroom to you. And you know what the kicker is? You can save up to 40%. From the big box stores, you get the savings. You get everything brought to you. You get to look at your flooring, what it'll look like next to your furniture, your paint. Set up your online appointment right now. By the way, free design services. SimplyFloorsInc.com. You can pick a time out right there. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness?
Sheet vinyl. What the hell is sheet vinyl? Is that like old linoleum?
Yeah.
It's gotta be, right? Yeah.
Vinyl, they're not calling it tile.
That's gotta be
so it's gotta be a roll.
That's gotta be the cheap. Or maybe it's for industrial.
But it gives you the tools. You have the medicines coming along that can save so many lives.
Oh, geez. Don't tell me he's talking about therapeutics like we were a year and a half ago.
And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, swallow less, and stay healthy.
Vacillation is the code of the day.
And of course,
Vacillation. Vacillate. We got a lot of words that sound like other words.
Do you realize he was
That's
Now, one person brought up the soundbite during the debate, where he said it'll be months, possibly years, 6 months to a year or years before we have a vaccine. When Trump said we'll have one by December. In the debate, you remember that? He says, no, never. It's years away.
Remember, he had fucking COVID during that.
$1 billion.
Trump had COVID during that. I think it was the second debate.
In school funding for ventilation systems in schools, social distancing.
I gotta go find
larger
Spencer
projects on buses, everything from bus drivers to buses, the actual bus.
Social
we also
distance.
back then included an additional $10 billion for testing for schools. I know this remains frustrating. Believe me, it's frustrating to me. But we're making improvements. In the last 2 weeks, we've stood up federal testing sites all over the country. We're adding more each and every day. Google, COVID,
all day long, Hellcat, getting okie dokie
I
is
use
definitely a
irregardless.
choice.
Shannon says, no, you don't use irregardless. It's regardless. Which is it?
Where?
Irregardless is not proper, but it has to
Display out here.
I thought I thought you
All the way
would
out.
correct me. I was trying to be proper. I always thought it was regardless, and I thought you corrected.
irregardless is non-standard.
Reason?
meaning The same as so many people find irregardless a nonsensical
That's
word.
exactly what Shannon said.
Usually functions to indicate.
So, because it's
However,
so much easier to say regardless.
it's not technically a word.
All right, so it is regardless.
But it says here, yes, it may or may not be a word. But irregardless, Doc, is it a word?
No, it's regardless.
That's what I always
It's
thought, and
irregardless.
then I thought I was corrected to
There's no word
say
irregardless.
irregardless.
No.
It's irrespective or regardless.
Yeah.
Irrespective. That's
But regardless is
interesting.
just
Okay.
Well, actually, now it's just like anything. It became an alternate usage
Really?
because it says here. It has come to our attention lately. This is Merriam-Webster. That a small, polite group of people are not fond of irregardless. This group, we might refer to as disregardless,
Disregardless.
makes their displeasure with the word. It says here that irregardless is not a real word, and you sound stupid. It says we define irregardless, even though it may hurt people's feelings.
All right, I'm back to regardless then. Okay.
But irregardless is a uncommon.
Same with orientated. People say that all the time. It drives me crazy.
What?
Orientated.
I would never
It's,
say it like
it's
that.
oriented.
I know. Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Get your formulations and anything you order there, 30% off with Tom in the promo code. Any CBD product, whether it's antiviral, and yes, it is antiviral, or you get it for pain, inflammation, working out, anxiety, RealCBDThatWorks.com, or even a cosmetic line, which has tremendous anti-inflammatory properties. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Now, we have a moving scam from Gloria. We have Alexandra who wants to talk about being hit in a parking lot. Then we have something coming up that you hear me talk about a lot, public adjusters, what they are and how they can help you. If you've been or ever had an insurance claim, especially, in fact, I believe, Joel, and we'll be talking to him in a minute here. A nod of the head, Joel. Can we go back, what, 2 or 3 years even if we closed a claim?
Yes.
Yes, that's good news. Alessandro, what happened to your car?
Well, my car was parked next to a big flatbed towing truck.
A big flatbed towing truck, and what happened?
Yes. Well, I parked next to the front of the car, of the truck.
Yeah.
I went in the store.
Yeah.
When I came back, I got in my car, I went home. On the next day, I realized the towing truck, mostly likely, when it
now,
went
do you
outside
think do you think it was the tow truck that did it?
100%, because when I called the police report, when I did the police report and the guy came here, I said it must have been an inexperienced towing truck. Because like when he pulled out and he turned on the right to get out of the double parking
right,
lot,
it was he hit you on the diagonal probably, right, as he's pulling. Yeah,
he hit right at the height of the door, and I have no doubt that was him. And
but did any cameras show it? Did you look at any cameras?
I couldn't look at any camera because when I went inside the store, they told me I need to make the police report. I made the police report, and I realized right away they're not going to do much. They said they're going to check, and maybe they call me. I was wondering if there is any other way to get to those recordings before they disappear from the camera, because I've been on the 27th of January that.
Well, I don't know why they wouldn't let you see them. Did they say they had them?
Well, they have a camera. It's right on the side of the store.
I understand. Let's say that they do show you the video. Do you know who the towing company is?
No, I don't, because I remember was
well, then
white
what makes
truck.
you think you're going to be able to see the name on the video?
That's my only chance. To see the name or to see.
And what did they say?
There were two cameras.
Did they say they would Did they say they would actually look at the video?
The police kind of said it, but I doubt they will ever do anything.
But did you ever talk directly, Alessandro? Did you ever talk directly to Safeway?
Yes, right away. On the next day, I went there and I asked, and they told me to do the police report. And the police will be able to look at those videos. They would allow the police to look at it, but I doubt the police is ever going to do anything, because that's the way they work. And I mean, like, the only way if I can to find this guy that I do not even know if he realized that he hit me, because it's probably the very back of the truck when he was going out. He probably didn't even realize, I would assume. And the only way if I worry myself about trying to find this guy.
Well, man, this is going to be hard. I don't think you can make them.
No, that's why I was.
But Deputy Doc, you want to try calling Safeway and say, hey, give the guy a break? See if, what date was it?
Was on the 27th of January.
Yeah, well, I would say you have a good chance that they keep it 30 days.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, at least that's what I do on my camera. They stay. At my home, they stay for 30 days. You have the recording for 30 days. But I mean, the police, I don't think they're doing anything.
Did you ask the police?
That's not working. You got to turn that on. Oh, wait.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it isn't? Okay, I didn't know. Is that working?
It is.
Good, thank you.
Did you ask the police to look at the video?
Yes, I did. But they said they would check if they find something.
Okay, listen.
Me.
We'll make a couple calls for you. Hold on, Deputy Doc. You have some follow-up stock? What's going on?
I do. First of all, we had a call from a woman who sent a dog $2,600 to a dog training company.
Was it training or to get a puppy?
No, training.
Okay.
Called Bark and Birch, B-I-R-C-H. They apparently are a referral service. They've had 2 offices, one in Texas and one in Florida. I called both places.
What do you mean officers?
Offices.
Oh, offices, sorry.
They, there's no answer, and I think...
So she called for dog training?
And they're out of business.
And they took her... How much did she pay up front?
$2,600.
Why did she do that?
Well,
I mean, really?
She looked at their website, thought they were legitimate.
It says here, like, off a debit card, right? Was it Lois?
No, it was Carissa.
Oh.
Wait, if she did it off of a debit card,
No, she didn't. She did.
No.
PayPal.
There's another one though. We had two of those.
I got you.
With Bark and Birch.
No. It said dog training.
Okay, well, this is she's in Colorado Springs. She was going to send her dog to California. And anyway, so I looked up Burke. Their website is still up, but all of their numbers are disconnected.
That is too bad.
I can't believe she was going to send the dog there. There's great trainers right here.
That's a different issue. But right now,
there are so many pet ripoffs, pet services.
Because people are so attached to their pets.
Getting pets, servicing pets, all of that. There are a lot of ripoffs going on. They're closed. There's nothing we can do. What else?
Well, we got a call from Carol and John Sharp about a contractor, Buck Bates, and he apparently this was a major blow up about how much money he owes, what he didn't do, what
Buck
he didn't
Bates.
do
She paid. She said $29,000 up front plus $59.70 to contractors who were threatening liens that should have been paid out of the original money of $29,000. Buck is in Haley, Idaho. The cost is $9,000 to finish. What?
Well, I spent almost a week going back and forth.
Carol's is old,
parties.
right?
Excuse me?
Is Carol old?
Yes.
How old?
I think she's about 78.
We were going to call Protective Services. Anyway, what's going on?
Anyway, this is a total screw-up, Tom.
You said all sides.
On both sides. He's saying one thing, she's saying another. She has mailed me countless messages that are repetitive. And last night, I got a call from Buck, who said that Mrs. Sharp, called his girlfriend's school, where she's a teacher, and made them get her out, and she started telling this woman that her boyfriend is a ripoff. He's a scam.
Wait a minute. How did she find out where Buck's girlfriend worked?
I don't know. So it got to the point.
Well, let's hire her, Carol.
It got to the point where they're both throwing allegations at each other.
Now, did Buck? Hold on, I want to know something. The fact you even talked to Buck. Is he from Idaho? Is he here now for good or what?
Well, I don't know, but he answers his phone every time I talk to him, so he's not hard to get a hold of.
Okay, this is always hard when I ask. What is your gut telling you about Buck? Is he a con artist?
No, he sounds legit.
I think this is all the woman, honestly.
I do too. I think
she left. How many messages did this lady leave you yesterday, Suzanne?
Let's get her on.
Or this morning, like 10?
Let's get her on.
You don't want to get her on.
I want to get her on. I want to ask her questions.
That'll be fun.
Have you ever heard the term good radio, for God's sakes?
Okay.
Jeez.
This is
303-713-TALK. I didn't want to have to school them. I didn't want to have to learn them on the air.
Hey, I'm a doctor, not a radio host.
I didn't want to have to learn you. Hey, Gloria. Hey, go talk to Alexandria. Gloria, what's happening in your life, and how can we help, I hope?
Oh, I sure hope to. So you can't. I am an idiot, and I realize it now. But I was moving from Littleton, Colorado, to Berea, Kentucky, and I had a legitimate mover who kept putting me off because of the lack of drivers and trucks, and it went on and on. So I stupidly put my name out on a site.
So you hooked up. Let me get this. You hooked up with a broker.
Right.
And what happened?
They didn't represent themselves as that. They said they were the moving company.
Yeah.
And it's called American Moving Solutions.
Yeah, they're not. They're a broker out of Florida.
I know they are now, but they told me they were the moving company. I quizzed them. I asked them, did
what
they
part
hire
of Florida? Where are they in Florida?
Oh, let's see. I believe it was southern Florida.
You know, I'm going to tell you this, okay? From our stats, there's a 99% chance if you hire a mover from Florida, you will be ripped off.
Well, here we go. So what they
Hold on. I'll come back to you. You know, it's funny. I posted something about this on Nextdoor, and, you know, most people agreed. But you would be shocked at how many people, why, I have no idea, were upset with me for posting it. Were upset with me, saying, you know, it's almost like if I say it's daytime right now, they'll say, no, it's night. Or it's not daytime in China, or whatever. Here's the point. The point is, these moving scams are happening every single day, and we need to stop them. So we'll talk to Gloria, see what we can do. We have Marty, who's been pretty successful at helping.
This is Denver's talk station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplan.
I wish that they would let us come in here and just clean up this fucking studio, hang our cameras where we want them. Mark,
Say it again.
I would like to come in here, clean up this whole studio, if nothing else. Literally put cameras up that
That would be
really
nice.
look fucking good, even if we have to put one here and then we all share it.
Actually, a friend of mine, a photographer, has this setup where all of his Sirius HD cameras are all remote, and he can literally remote control them in his little studio. It's sweet. I'll find the name of it for us. It's a sweet setup.
And you can probably pre-program shots.
You can pre-program shots. You can preset shots. You can sit there and literally compose almost on the fly.
I am so proud and privileged that I can recommend people to you that I am absolutely sure would do a great job for you. People that will fill a need. People that will help you save money or make money or avoid danger. One of those companies, Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. I'm telling you this and I mean it. I'm going to use them. No, I haven't met with them yet. I'm going to use them to quarterback my retirement, my estate, all of that. Because they have varied interests and varied skills. They're not just investors. They look at the whole thing in a comprehensive approach. Like, for example, in addition to investments, they look at what taxes you're paying and how to reduce property taxes and taking advantage of the senior discounts or Social Security, optimal benefits, putting extra dollars in your pocket, Medicare, supplements, long-term insurance like long-term care, estate planning. They refer you to people that I know and trust like Blake Harris for estate and approval reverse for reverse loans if you need them. But they look over everything for you. Here's what's really important, okay? It's not just for seniors. I may have given you that impression. In fact, it's better to get with them early. But no matter what age you are, Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, it's rpcenter.com, rpcenter.com. You can meet with them as many times as you want before signing up. And if you sign up, they'll be very crystal clear on how they make fees and where they are. But you'll always, I believe, make more than they charge because of their tremendous service. 970-663-3211. 970-663-3211. And as I said, avoiding danger, that's another mission of mine. And, you know, I can't say enough about American Restoration. We've sent them out on jobs that were started by other restoration companies. You know, it's a crime, but not prosecuted. There are so many ripoffs in the restoration business. Oh, my goodness. In fact, most of the time, if you pick up a phone and call a restoration company, you're going to get a ripoff. So I recommend American Restoration. The number's easy to remember. It's American Restoration. The number is 8337-AM-REST. Now, if you have a fire, flood, mold, crime, unattended death, meth, asbestos, anything that can devalue your property, they can get in there right away and start mitigating with the certifications from the EPA and the knowledge and experience working with insurance. They are really good people and will not rip you off, will not rip your insurance company off. They love working with public adjusters. They are good people. All right? Now, here they are. 8337-AM-REST, AMREST247.com, AMREST247.com.
Have you still not refinanced your mortgage?
Have you ever heard of them? Rock, he's a good guy. No. Have you run across problems with, well, you're out of there by the time they get in, right? But
no, in fact, like with all of these homes that I've got up in Superior, I've got 10 of them now. And
restoration company?
No, I'm working with one restoration company because they're able to get things approved by the insurance company. They don't look for things, but they price it high enough that we're doing okay.
These guys are good people.
American Restoration?
Yeah. Rock, he's a good guy.
Okay. Where are they?
Mark, where are they? Yeah.
Okay.
They're up there.
But he serves the whole front range. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I need more than just one. I got a ton of work.
There you go.
You'll know when you meet with Rock. He's just a straight. You'll know. You just, you know, it's fun. It's funny, but I love my clients, and I meet with them, and I know if I want them or not.
Paul. He's a good guy. So, yeah, Call Rock. And then we have, let's see, a couple other public adjusters who are good people. But I like the way you're handling it as far as the name. The name is freaking wonderful.
Yeah, my SEO guys are pretty bright.
The name alone is going to get you organic.
And now I've just added a new URL. It redirects to it.
I like it. In fact, I got to write that down.
What's your name? Company name?
It's Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't get better than that.
That's like
it's got Colorado. It's got public.
This is what I do. This is what I do.
So the issue is that, we also have that long name as the URL.
Of course,
but I just bought
and then you
COClaims.com that redirects it. So now we can just say that.
And you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because having the big URL is for the search engine.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the
search engine.
It's organic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so.
So, you want me to tell you what I think are important topics that I should?
Of course. Do you have them written down?
It's all in here. So.
Okay, hold on. Let me take some notes here. I'm going to write them down. Okay, go ahead.
So, one thing that I'm running into up there, and I run into this with all major claims, is that the insurance company will lead the policyholder to believe that they're working with independent experts and independent companies to come and do their evaluation and to do the
They really do?
Is it just the
They're independent companies, but oftentimes
they call them independent adjusters, which really means
no, I mean like an expert, like an industrial hygienist or a structural engineer. They have a corral of all of these people. And one of the things that I ask in emails to the adjusters when they send them out is, can you tell me how many times you've used this company before? Can you tell me how many times this company has represented the insurance company?
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, Gloria, we're going to get to you in the insurance scam, but hold on a sec. Hold on. This is important. This is really important. We have Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado in today. And an incredible company. And Joel just told me something off the air, and we need to talk about it. I will get you, I promise you. I will go right back to you, Gloria. But with claims, I want to talk about adjusters first. Don't be fooled by the term independent adjuster. That might make you think they are independent of insurance companies. They are not. What independent insurance adjuster means is they have a firm that adjusts claims for insurance companies. They're hired by insurance companies. They do not work for you. They do not have your best interest at heart. That's an independent adjuster. Now, the public adjuster works for the consumer. And the public adjuster tries to get you what you have coming in coverage and not be shortchanged by insurance. That's adjusters. But now, what about experts? Like, let's say you need to evaluate some environmental loss, and you need an engineer or an expert or a scientist, or you have to evaluate some structural damage, or you have to evaluate something before you know truly what your claim is. Joel tells me something is going on.
Yeah, thanks, Tom.
What's going on, Joel?
So here's what happens a lot is that, let's say you have, let's take, for example, these Marshall fires. And let's say that you were in the fire zone, but, perhaps your house didn't catch on fire directly, but you're near smoke and soot damage where that would have blown into your house. So you call and you file a claim, and the insurance company accepts your claim, and then they send an adjuster out to evaluate the damage. And then they might hire what they call an independent expert to come do environmental testing to see if you have contamination in your home. Now, these so-called independent experts, even though they're quote-unquote independent, oftentimes they're hired for multiple jobs by the insurance carriers. So just as a natural course of doing their business, it becomes their business model to just work for the insurance carriers. So oftentimes when I meet these people and talk to them on site, and ask them, well, how many policyholders have you ever represented? They either don't answer me, or they'll get back to me, or they just don't have.
So that's another sneaky way insurance companies are trying to get favor, is by getting the expert that
they can stand behind and say, well, it's not us saying it, it's our expert. But really,
it's their expert.
But the expert writes their report knowing who their customer is.
Well, it's kind of like with workers' comp when they have an independent medical exam. It's not
exactly
independent at all.
It isn't. It's whoever's paying the bill.
That's right.
And when you start digging into their history and find out that their business model is based upon that, then you can start impugning their unbiased nature and discussing with the insurance company and demonstrating that this is, in fact, not an independent expert.
Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. More coming up. And please also let us go back to Gloria with the moving scam as well.
I punched it, nothing happened.
You said you weren't going to say that no more.
Say again, Tom?
Oh, good.
I just thought I forgot we got to have the best in here.
Mark, waiting room with code. It makes you do a phone code.
I don't know what that means.
Waiting room with code. You got a waiting room somewhere?
Oh, hold on. I don't know what you're talking about.
Medicare prescription copays at Walgreens. You won't have
Got the rolling pin in there, man.
I got it. I got it.
And then there are days when the snails get there before we do.
Do I have these coming up right now?
Got it.
Hewitt needs you to know 3 things about filing taxes this year. Now, there are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table. 2, you have to file for them to make sure you get the right amount. 3, a Jackson Hewitt tax firm will help track down every credit you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of them, going to school,
And
so
4,
you don't
Uncle
want to
Sam wants
Jackson
you.
Hewitt knows them. So someone that's in tax credits and getting the biggest refund.
Let's talk about O'Brien Legal Services. He's an attorney. And O'Brien Legal Services will help you. O'Brien Legal Services will help you by looking over all of your real estate transactions. In fact, you may have a border dispute. You may have something else going on. Why do we think with real estate we don't need anyone to help us? We go to closings without ever having the documents looked at when it's just a few $100. Why do we do that? Or you have fence issues, easements, adverse possession, liens, title survey review, clearing title, quiet title actions, negotiation, all of this. Even leases, residential and commercial, 720-370-7388, olslaw.com, our real estate expert, olslaw.com, Brad O'Brien and his team, 720-370-7388. I want you to spend $189, and I am hoping you waste the money. I truly am, because that $189 will get you an extensive scan that will show soft plaque. The evidence of soft plaque is an immediate danger. It's not a calcium score like a lot of people do. These are trained technicians who have actually saved lives by discovering some dangerous situations. And what I'm telling you is, you need to spend this money, and I hope you waste it. But if it turns out you have a problem, they can make referrals, or you go to your own doctor, and that's covered by insurance. They have treatments now that can stop it in tracks and reverse it. CoreScans.com. CoreScans.com. No E. 720-740-2663. 720-740-2663. So many people are talking about storm damage. We have our public adjuster in today talking about storm damage.
Did you know Genesis Total Exteriors is uniquely qualified? Well, not unique, but one of the few companies that can put everything on one invoice because they do it all. They do the roofs and the gutters and the windows and the siding and the decks and the outbuildings and the painting, and they even do full remodeling, of course, and renovations. GenesisTotalExteriors.com, a company I've personally known for years, I think 30 years. And I know Mark personally, Mark Szymanski, 303-679-8509, 303-679-8509.
You know, you guys keep hearing me talk about Blue Sky CBD, and I can only say that my...
Okay, so what do you do? Can you say don't use that guy?
No, you have to let them. What you have to do
But
is...
you can do your own.
Yes. And so what they'll try to do is they'll write, a minimalist report, and then the homeowner, not knowing any better, just says, okay, well, I understand that that's what they found and that's what the damage is, and they just let the insurance company kind of walk all over them based on that. What they don't know is that that expert report is reflective of what the insurance company wants that expert to say and not the true actual damages that occurred. So it's always better to have a second person that's truly independent come in and do a thorough evaluation. And I can give a specific example of something that's happening right now. I mean, I have a house like this right now where they hired, industrial hygienist. The industrial hygienist came out, the carrier didn't like the report that the guy wrote, so they didn't pay for it. And I called the guy up and I was like, why did you write this minimal report? And he was like, well, I thought the carrier was paying for it. And instead of yelling at him and cursing at him, I told him, well, you know what, the homeowners would be willing to pay a few $100 extra for you to come out and do a more thorough investigation and revise your report. And he said, no problem. So, it's just, you really need to get your own people.
Exactly. Cash is key.
One of the things I learned during a claim I was having issues with, the insurance company I had at the time was some strange little company, and they didn't have their own adjuster, so they hired an independent adjuster.
Right.
So the independent adjuster came out, and what I learned was he actually got paid on a percentage of the claim too, which I found mind-boggling. Right. Because that almost incentivized him, even though he was hired by the insurance company, to find something, because he's getting a percentage.
Right, but here's the game there. The game there is that they keep getting the work from the carrier as long as they minimize the claim. So they find stuff, and they get a piece of that, but they keep getting more work for not doing the entire thing. So they're making a bunch of money, but they're doing it by minimizing the claim and still getting their piece of that percentage.
That little piece.
Otherwise, if they did the full claim, the carrier will never hire them again.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy it works that way, though. Yeah. You would think they'd have their own
Tom
people.
Martino, you're a troubleshooter.
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. By the way, Frank Duran, the real estate man, does free market valuations of your home for the asking. That's a valuation, not an appraisal. Buyers need appraisals. You need a valuation to see what it will sell for, and he can do it based on his 27 years of experience free of charge. 303-920-1622, 920-1622. Gloria, the moving scam. Here's what I want to know. What usually happens is they say they can move you for a certain price. The guy shows up and asks for more money. Then they take your stuff, and they won't deliver it until you pay more money. Is that generally what's going on or not?
That's not what happened to me.
What happened to you?
I wised up. Before I let them have it.
Okay, so what happened? Did you pay a deposit?
I did, and that's what I can't get back.
Okay, how much did you pay?
$3,220.
$3,220. And then how did you wise up?
Things were not adding up. The guy who I originally spoke to, his name was Thomas, and he's the one who told me that they were the moving company and that they employed their own drivers. And so after I agreed to it and I signed something online, it was just a very simple paragraph, but later they showed me pages and pages and pages of disclosures and things that I supposedly
Did anyone ever show up to look at your stuff?
No.
Okay, so you decided to cancel.
I wanted to, but they told me that I could not cancel. There was no such thing as cancellation.
Well, that's full of crap. When did you pay that money?
In December.
Okay,
How did you pay it?
Through my credit card company, and
Oh.
they are not.
Wait a minute. What credit card?
It was Citibank.
Well, hold on a second. If you tell them it was a fraud, or did you tell them a cockamamie story about that you got suspicious? Because what they're going to say is you didn't give the guy a chance.
What they're saying is that I signed something that was binding that that I can't get out of.
What did you sign? Do you have it there?
No, I don't. They sent me something online. You know, it was. They sent me.
Did your credit card company see what you signed?
That I do not know. Because
Well, ask them. Tell them you never signed anything. Make them show you. Did you sign something?
I did online, but it was a very simple paragraph. It
Okay,
was not all
then
the
tell
stuff.
them you did not sign anything to make them produce it. You tell your credit card company. I don't recall signing anything. I want to see it.
You should have just reported it stolen to begin with.
Yeah, I know. But you have to do that, Gloria. Right now, you have to do. I'm sorry to have to say this, but you have to fight fire with fire. You tell your credit card company you want to see what you signed. You don't recall signing anything. I can't do anything unless you do that. And you can feel free to call us back. Truly. Kelly, you want to talk about a roof claim. What's going on? Kelly?
Kelly?
Yes, what's going on with your roof?
I had some wind damage to this last storm we had a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Down here in Pueblo. And I called and got an estimate for a new roof put on. And they called me back and said they sent a guy down there. He looked at the roof.
Hold on. Who sent someone? The insurance company or a roofer?
Farmers Insurance.
Okay, they're going to underestimate. I'll bet you they said you don't need a roof.
No, they said $10,000 for the roof, and then when they got done taking out all their deductions, they said they'd send me a check for $750.
Now wait a minute. What deductions are you talking about?
They claimed that the roof was old. So they took 75% off of the roof.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If it's old and you were never told to replace it, I thought you still get the value of the roof.
We should ask Compass.
Did you have replacement value?
I'm not for sure if I have
Kelly,
replacement
you have
value
to
or
hang
not.
on. We're going to check with our public adjuster here.
I bet he had ACV.
And we're going to check with Compass Insurance Group. If you had actual cash value coverage, you have a problem. Please get your policy. Suze, tell him to get his policy so we can look at it, or I mean, at least have him read it. I'm Tom Martino. We're going to tackle insurance problems as well as consumer problems and insurance ripoffs coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
What do you think?
So, no, here's what happens. There's a lot of policies that will give a depreciation schedule just for the roof. So it's not an ACV policy, but it's an ACV roof.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
And he probably didn't even know he had that.
Right.
And he
so in his policy, there's probably a schedule by year of how many years and how much they depreciated. There's really not.
So they were happy because guess what? His rates are going to go up, and they're not going to have to worry about replacing his roof again for a while.
Well, his rates might not necessarily go up. So a lot of times people will ask me that. Well, I don't want to file a claim because I'm afraid my rates will go up. With auto insurance, it works that way. With property insurance, it doesn't. They grade them by zip code, basically. So let's say, all of your neighbors had their roof replaced in a storm and you didn't, your rates are going up along with everybody else's. So it's a good idea to actually file a claim if you have one, because if your neighbors do, your rates are going to go up anyway.
Got it. No, I was originally told I had no damage.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up getting $70K.
Yeah, that happens a lot. It's a little more difficult, like with hail claims lately, because we haven't had a hailstorm here in quite some time. So
I know.
They're being real.
Roofers are hating life.
Yeah.
Can't get that way to work.
And they're trying
that annual flow.
Yeah.
It should be. I think we're in line for a big hailstorm.
I think we're in line for 82 again, and I wasn't here then.
What happened then?
People were snowed in the buildings.
Really?
Yeah. That was one of the reasons why I almost didn't come here. I'm serious. I was working for the phone company at the time. They had this big snow here in 82. Building up on Sunny, the one with the big cornucopias on it. As you go up 70 that way, you'll see them all. Just the cornucopias, the big towers, microwave towers. Yeah. Anyway, there's an AT&T building there and a Pacific Bell building on the same property with lots of tunnels between them. Those folks were snowed into that building for days. Could get out. Good thing about it was they have a cafeteria on site. All the amenities are there, so the employees were loving it because the supervisor didn't get paid. You pay both companies just get paid.
Mine says 2,000 plus.
But they were locked in. Basically had to stay. So
check the boxes, see how much they are, because I ain't going to be able to get in.
The guy that was trying to recruit me out of here, I kept telling him, man, fucking in Colorado with Cowboys, California. Yeah, in Colorado with Cowboys and fucking snow. I don't like neither one. I don't like either one. So I kept telling him, ain't nothing in Colorado with Cowboys and snow. I told him months. Finally, he said, let me tell you this about besides Cowboys. He says it's called $35 a day per diem. It's called room and board, transportation, and 80 hours on your time card for 4 months. If you can come out here and fix this problem we got. I said, John, about that 80 hours, how many of them do I have to be in sight for? He said, if you fix this shit, I don't have to never see it. Give me my tickets. Came to Colorado. Looked at what they had going on. Already knew what to do about it. 80 hours, $35 board, transportation for 4 months. That's pretty good. Oh, that was sweet. it was sweet. I was loving it the whole damn time. So after I got through that, the guy I was working for turned around and said, "Okay, you ever thought about moving to Colorado?" You know what I did, don't you? Cowboys and snow. He said, "Okay, we're not going to go through that again. It's not going to take me months to get you to stay." It's called the management move package. I said, I'm not management, he says. It's called the management move package. I said, but I like being on the craft side. He says, it's called the management move package. Let me tell you what's in it. We buy your house in California, so you can buy a house in Colorado. We pack your house, we ship your house, we move your house. Okay. But we give you the money to do all of that. Okay. And then you get your upgrade and your bonus. And it's close to the end of the year. Okay, so we're looking at your annual bonus too. I'm like, oh, that's for managers? He says, no, that's for you. Okay. So I stayed. That was in 1989. Here ever since. Yeah. Left him in 94, 95.
Where were you living in California?
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I'm born there though. You know.
I like it better out here. I've spent a lot of time in LA.
I was loving it here when I got here. I came here at the same time, man. A 5-year-old kid, 5-year-old son, ready to run up and down the streets. It's like the guy is saying, come to Colorado, I'm saying Cowboys and snow it.
If I'm not back, start the show, guys.
Say again?
I'm not back, start the show.
Okay. Well,
what is this doctor's name? I feel like I know him.
He's the ex-gynecologist.
Do you know his last name?
What is that name?
I've met him before.
I call him Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've called him Doc as long as I've known him. I've only known him a few months since I've been doing this for months.
I'll ask him.
you can get away with it. But yeah, so this is what happens in here. It's kind of fun. I want another TV up there with a third opinion. We got CNN and Fox. We need a third opinion.
Yeah, but I don't know what you could put up there. I mean, anything else is either further left or further right.
Well, my contention is this. We have, now pardon this, I'm just roll with me. We have left white and right white. Okay. There is a news channel called BNC, the Black News Channel. Okay. It's just as biased as either of those, so at least we've got all the biases up here.
Yep.
Or at least most of them.
Yep. I've never heard of that one.
It's a new channel. It's a relatively new channel. On Xfinity, it's 11:16. On YouTube, they're under BNC. Y'all better come on, or else I might have to start talking. You made it back. Hey, Tom. I was putting on my headset.
Oh, I have every confidence you could do that.
Yeah.
If you laid back, I think.
Yeah, it would be a little bit slower.
I'm Tom Martino. Your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 40 years of fighting crime, consumer ripoffs. Let's go to the phones. We do have our public adjuster here today from Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. And we'll be giving out that number. I think it's the best number I have ever seen in my entire life. It is the best phone number I have ever seen. Now, the only thing that would be better is, I'll tell you, but it's 720-715-0000. Did you have to buy that?
Yeah, we got that number.
Is that like a Google?
Yes.
Now, did you have to buy it or was it available?
It was available. I got it through my SEO team. They were able to help me with that.
Now, what it would have been better is all zeros. It's, 720 and then all zero. But 720-715-0000. Anyway, so let's go to the phones now. Jeremy, we need to talk to Compass Insurance because this is crazy what happened to Kelly. Now, Kelly called in with a roof claim. Kelly, your damage was estimated by Farmers Insurance to be $10,000, right? Kelly? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Don't hang up. This is Kelly. I picked up line 4 by mistake. Kelly, you're $10,000 for the replacement or for the damage?
For the replacement of the roof.
Right.
They came out, they did the estimate, took it back to Denver, gave it to Farmers. They called me.
And they said, congratulations, Kelly. After your deductible and after we subtract for the age of the roof, you get $750.
That's correct.
And it's a farmer's policy. Jeremy,
yes, sir.
There is something called actual cash value, which means they'll only pay you for what you lost in value on the day you lost it as opposed to replacement. Do you think that's what happened to him, Jeremy?
I do. I mean, that would be my first guess. I mean, that's obviously not what a new roof costs, so it would be most likely he has that actual cash value.
Well, I mean, I'm asking you, have you seen those policies?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we warn people about them all the time, and the problem is people don't really understand
ACV.
What that means.
Yeah. Now,
just the concept. It's just, it's cheaper. It's a cheaper policy. So that's the problem, right? When you're trying to talk to people about what they have and what that's going to look like, it just doesn't always translate till that claim happens and they really see how minimum that payment's going to be.
By the way, Joel here, our public adjuster today from Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, says that he probably has a regular policy with ACV for the roof.
Correct.
So ACV, what else would they pull it on other than the roof? Any of these fire damages, would that have ACV?
You shouldn't see anything for that. Really, a lot of companies, probably in the last 4 or 5 years, have changed, and every company is different. You know, some will only pay ACV for the roof. Others will pay replacement costs till the roof hits a certain age, 10 years, 15 years. Then it changes to ACV. Obviously, that's when it's going to be the most impactful because the roof is older. But this is typically specific to just the roof coverage.
Okay. That's, by the way, Compass Insurance Group, home of the insurance checkup, where you call them and they'll look at your coverage to make sure you don't have little bombs like ACV, to make sure you have adequate coverage, and to make sure you're not paying too much for it. And it's independent because they work for 25 companies, not one, like a farmer's agent. You know, there's something called captive agents and something called brokers, independent. That's what Compass, independent. So they can give you a complete insurance checkup at 303-996-9000. All right, so what do you do? Now, I got bad news for you, Kelly. If you have an ACV roof policy, there's not much you can do about it, or is there, Joel? Can you fight for saying they over-depreciated it or whatever?
Well, you know, what would be advisable in that situation is to get a full, proper estimate from a roofer, from a roofing contractor, because what may be happening is they're starting out low. Yeah, they're starting out low and then depreciating it. So if the value to replace the roof is actually more than what they're calculating initially and then depreciating, then you would get a higher depreciated value.
But if he has an ACV, he has an ACV.
If he has an ACV, he has an ACV.
Okay, so what do you think he should do?
What I think he should do is get a roofing contractor to write an estimate for a full roof replacement and send that into the carrier and say this is the actual market value for this roof.
And then work it from there.
Do
they overly depreciate, or is it on a schedule?
It's typically on a schedule. So if he were to read through his policy, there should be a section in there that says roof depreciation schedule.
Hey, if you would like, right now, Kelly, if you would like to, how many pages is your policy? Do you know?
I think it's about 8.
If you could, I don't know if you know how to scan it into your computer or phone or take a picture of it so we can read it. We'd be happy to look at it, and I'll have Joel see if there's if what he thinks of the policy, and then what, you know, let's just do that.
Okay.
Now hold on. And I hope, listen, if it's as specified, man, are you going to have a problem? 303-713-TALKS, 303-713-8255. Fernando has a question. Go ahead, Fernando. What's happening?
Good morning, Thomas.
Hey, what's happening?
I want to know about these public adjusters and what kind of licensing do they have, or where do they get their authority from? Like,
what do you guys have to do?
From the county?
Hold on. We get the idea. What do you guys have to do to become a public adjuster?
Well, you have to take coursework to prepare you to take a state test. And in the state test, they ask you a lot of questions based on the insurance code in the state of Colorado. It's a pretty extensive amount of studying that you need to do to be able to understand what your job duties are as a public adjuster. Most of it related to understanding policy and policy language, and then applying it to real-world situations. And then you take a state test, and then you're licensed by the state of Colorado, and you have to relicense every 2 years. So we're required to take 20 hours of continuing education courses during those 2 years in order to reapply for our license.
And then I assume if you're in multiple states, the same goes in the other states you're in.
That's true. Most of the time, if you have a license and have been practicing for 2 years in one state, you'll have reciprocity in most other states.
What generally is the expense? Forget about the time, but somebody like Fernando, if he's looking into it, how much can you expect to put out for the education part of it?
How much would you expect to pay?
Yeah, how much would you expect to pay to learn to take the test and become a public adjuster?
A few $1,000s.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Oh, okay.
Fernando, you got any other questions, bro?
No other questions.
You can make good money in it, man. There's no doubt about it. In fact, there's a lot of people out there I think should become public adjusters. It's shockingly good money.
Can a holder of the insurance claim be a public adjuster within himself?
Sure. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, if something happened to your house, you could represent yourself.
Yeah, I don't see why that would be a problem. But I'm not quite sure that So Fernando, are you asking that if you have your own claim, can you act as a public adjuster without a public adjuster license? Or are you asking if you do have?
Yeah, the first question is my question.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, it's it
would be based off my own like what I would want, though, wouldn't it? I mean, what would give a public adjuster the right to say that my insurance company is wrong?
Well, it's
Other
the
than
license.
getting more.
It's having the license, and the insurance companies recognize the public adjuster license as having a higher level of authority than a policyholder.
But even more importantly than the licensing, in my opinion, I understand you have to have it to act that way in Colorado, for example, but it's knowing what the hell you're doing. It's knowing what the damage is and what to expect and knowing how to read the policy and saying, hey, you guys are supposed to pay for overhead and profit if they go about it this way. Or, hey, you're supposed to pay for this and that.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mark.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks, Fernando. All right, 303-713-8255. 303-713-8255. Now, let's see here. Gloria, the moving issue, ice rink problem. Well, I'm dying to hear this one. Ella, what's going on with your ice rink?
Hello?
Hello, Gloria.
This is Ella.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ella. Go ahead. What's going on? Do you have an issue with an ice rink?
Yes, that's me.
What
So
is it?
the
What's
ice
going
rink is
on? What happened?
Well, I just was hung up on by calling the rink to talk about this problem, which fired me up, and I thought, I don't know what you can do for me, but at least we can warn other people.
Well, what happened at it? What happened?
Okay, so we are part of a figure skating group. We take lessons there. We've paid for those lessons, and we have a set time frame to be on the ice.
Is it for you or your kids?
It's for my daughter.
Okay, got it. All right.
So she's the one enrolled.
And what is it called? What is what is the program called?
I don't know if I want to mention her because she's not the one who's causing the problem.
Okay, so it's an ice rink. It's a program held at an ice rink. It's not put on by the ice rink.
Correct. She buys the ice time.
Got it.
From the rink.
Got it.
And then has all of us clients pay her.
Got it. Yep.
So it's a full-on business. And last night was the kicker where we show up for our classes, and the hockey leagues were still on the ice.
Ah, okay.
They were on the ice for an additional 30 to 40 minutes beyond when their cutoff time was supposed to have been.
Ah.
So all of those 100 clients had to then push their classes out.
Well, wait a minute. Wow. And they didn't say to the hockey team, by the way, we have a schedule to keep?
No, and that we were upset about that, especially since as soon as our ice time is done for our skaters, the Zamboni is on the ice with the kids, chasing them off the ice.
All right, I want to know this then. What did that result in that night?
Absolutely nothing. The poor kid that was running the counter wasn't management, and he was apologetic. He said, we take these
Well, no, what I mean is this. Did you have your event or not?
She had some of it. So we paid for an hour and 15 minutes, and we got an hour, but we were short that 15 minutes.
So you were short 15 minutes. Other than short 15 minutes, I guess the better question is, what do you guys want? What did you call about? Let's see what we can do. What do you want?
I wanted to see what they were going to do to prevent that from happening in the future, because I unfortunately don't have all the time on my hands that I can just sit there for
That's true.
half an hour.
I get it.
So I wanted to see how we were going to prevent that and what they were going to do for the woman who runs this company to assure her that the time that she's paid for, she actually
I'm shocked she wasn't shorted more than 15 minutes.
Well, it's still 15 minutes. And
yeah, but I mean, I'm shocked it's not more. I mean, really, it was a half hour over plus the Zamboni, and she only lost 15 minutes?
They didn't do the Zamboni between the hockey and the skaters. They just put us right on the ice without cleaning the ice.
Okay. So listen.
Was it more than just your program that was interrupted?
Well, it would be everybody after them, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You lost 15 minutes, but what about the other people?
Or did they take 15 minutes off of you in order to make everyone else on time? What did they do?
Well, I'm not sure what they did after us because we just left. As soon as she was off the ice, we left. But I do know she runs several classes simultaneously on the ice. So everybody. That
What do you
was
want
on
us?
the
Do you
ice
want us
lost.
to call? I mean, we'll call them and get to the bottom of it. Do you want us to do that?
Sure, whatever you can do to kind of hold them accountable. 'Cause
Okay, what we want first, we want to lodge the complaint, see if they're going to make up to 15 sues. For Deputy Smarty Pants, I think we want to see what they have. Why, first of all, did they let it happen? They don't want to show up and have a hockey team go an hour over. Okay, I mean, that's a reasonable question. The next one is, are they going to make up for the 15 minutes? And the next one is, I think that covers all, actually, those two. How do we assure that they're going to keep proper time? That kid there should have called timeout saying, look, guys, you're done. So we'll give it to one of our deputies to call. Ticket beater. The ticket beater is on. Did you take that call? I don't know who the ticket beater is.
He
this
says
a 15
that's
break?
who you'll know him as. He wouldn't give me his first name.
Okay, good. I'm going to go to the ticket beater right after this.
What was the public adjuster question? How to become one?
Well, it was basically the guy was trying to see how he could adjust his own claim without a public adjuster.
Well, you can argue with your insurance company all day long, but
I tell you what, it happens a lot. This happened to me yesterday. They're offering like $20,000 on this claim. I sent in my letter of representation. Nothing else, just my letter of representation. 2 days later, they doubled the estimate.
Let's talk about David Ellis Jewelry. David Ellis Jewelry will take care of you if you're buying gold and silver, or if you're selling it, that is, I should say. Here's what you do. You go through your drawers and look for all that old tangled mess, single earrings, whatever you are not going to use. And he pays for the price of silver and gold, even platinum. Precious metals is what he wants. So, if you're looking to sell estate jewelry, that's not the place. I mean, maybe, but the bottom line is gold and silver and platinum. And David Ellis has been around 40 years. You can trust him. I've known him the whole time. He's on 3rd and Clayton. You can drop by. Or you can call him 303-322-8779. 303-322-8779. David Ellis, the ELLIS, DavidEllisJewelry.com. And that's 303-322-8779. John Fuller does not work for a giant law firm on purpose. Do you know that John Fuller will give you his private cell phone to keep in touch with him when he has your case? Do you know that John Fuller meets with every single client? And you're not relegated to some assistant. This is not a giant law firm. This is a personalized law firm. And he'll even give you free legal advice when you need it the most, right after an accident. Call him. Ask your questions. No obligation to hire him. John Fuller is there to serve you. PersonalInjuryCO.com. You're not just a number. And trust me, he gets the settlements. But at least you get to know what's going on, when it's going on, and he's more efficient because he's smaller and because he attends to each and every case. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. Call for any legal advice you need on injuries, especially traffic accidents. 303-597-4500. John Fuller.
As we age, we can't always plan on good health.
crap. I press on button.
All right, I'm waiting for a call from Media Relations on Safeway. So I'll let you know what's going on with that.
Safeway, what's up with Safeway?
Remember that guy in the parking lot?
Oh, yeah.
That wouldn't release the tape. So they referred me to Media Relations, so I'm waiting for her to call me back. And he's going to get me the number for that police station where he reported it. He gave me the number for the general Denver police, but there's so many, you can't get in touch with anybody. So he needs to give me a direct number for that police precinct.
Just like they're doing for my husband and me right now. I love how much time they've spent with us, and it's not just me. Read the reviews. People love working with Brian and Madeline at 525 Advisors.
I hit it prematurely. I didn't do core scans, so just come right back to me.
I'll have your PDF to you soon. Are you doing the meatballs on Monday?
No, I can't. I got
Because of your diet.
and I got my kids on the weekend.
Then I'll tell Bob we have to reschedule it.
Let's talk about getting a core scan of your carotid artery, which is a 98%. It mirrors your cardiovascular system, so they detect soft plaque. Then you can do further testing. But here's the great part. $189 let you know. And do you know that you can take those results to any doctor and start getting treatment that can reverse and stop it, that's covered by insurance? Why wouldn't you want to know what's lurking? $189 could save your life from, heart disease or risk of stroke. And it detects soft plaque. This is not a calcium score. I can't say that enough. It's not like the other scans. It's different. Corescans.com. Denver and Boulder, 720-740-2663. 720-740-2663.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off his branches. Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply their job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Welcome to the Casa.
Oh my, is that a Picasso?
Don't touch
It's
it.
covering a hole in your wall.
Yeah, it had leaks, but the plumber repipe doesn't do.
Do we have a notary anywhere?
Repipe specialists would have repiped
God.
and offered to fix the holes in your walls.
Got leaks? Repipe specialists will repipe your house in 1 or 2 days and offer.
No, sir, man.
Do you know if there's one in the building?
I don't think so.
Payments or interest for a year. That's 303.
Used to be a quarry.
Or visit repipe.com. This report is sponsored by AAA Colorado Insurance.
Partly sunny skies with temperatures in the low 50s for your Wednesday. Overnight
Our
down
bank
in the
down.
20s and
Go down to our
lows.
bank when
60 degrees with sunshine before another chance for snow on Friday. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Burse.
Worried about when you'll be stranded with car trouble? Get AAA membership and get peace of mind. AAA can replace a battery, fix a tire, fill your tank, and give you a tow. With the largest fleet in the state, they'll be to you in no time. Join at AAA.com. Denver's talk station. Online at khow.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. So we're going to call on the ice rink to find out why they let the hockey team go over. It wasn't like a game that went into overtime. It was just practice. And anyway, the ticket beater, I don't know what it means. Were we talking about tickets, Mark? Okay. In any case, the ticket beater wants to talk. Now, why do you call yourself the ticket beater? Oh, you mean like speeding tickets and stuff, right?
Traffic tickets. I've talked to you on several occasions in the past.
Yeah, you said talk about federal court, dismiss it, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I haven't tried it. But anyway, go ahead. Now I know who you are.
I'm not calling about that today. You've criticized me in good fun in the past for being unorthodox.
Yeah, of course. And it is in good fun. Yes, it is in good fun.
But I think you respect me, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm calling you today because you sound like you're in a good mood.
I always am.
And
I mean, unless somebody puts me in a bad mood, but I don't. I mean, no, excuse me. I shouldn't say that. No one can put me in a bad mood unless I allow someone to put me in a bad mood. Go ahead.
So the subject I'm going to bring up with you may put you in a bad mood. If you are as mature, fair-minded, and all that as you claim to be, I
don't ever claim to be mature. Ever. I have never. I will not.
Let him get to the point. What are you saying?
Fair-minded, not mature. Go ahead.
I would like you to do 2 simple steps for me.
Okay.
And by doing those 2 very simple steps, I believe I can convince you one way or the other, that all conspiracy theories, that whether or not all conspiracy theories, pro and con, about chemtrails can be proven to you?
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Okay.
He went full-blown wacky.
Now, hold on. I'm just going to call you Beater for short, because that's what you're sounding like. One too many times. Now,
hey, I didn't say I was pro or con. I'm saying it can be proven to you pro or con.
Okay, that's good. Hold on. The chemtrail, it depends on what chemtrail conspiracy theory you're talking about. For chemtrails to be an active plot to seed, because some people think it's for birth control, some people think it's for controlling the population, some people think it's for mind control. I mean, there are so many different conspiracy theories as to what chemtrails are, but to have every airline cooperate with the government to put a board on their tanks to spread into the atmosphere is you can't get people to agree on anything, let alone a conspiracy theory like this that no one would cooperate to begin with. And even if they did, some baggage handler or somebody with the airline would leak it. I mean, I just think it's a ridiculous notion. But anyway, what I need to do, Beater, is ask you, what kind of conspiracy theory? The one about birth control? The one about cancer? The one about... What do you mean anyone? It can be proven.
Well, from what you've said, it sounds like you don't believe in chemtrails as a fact for any reason.
No, I absolutely believe there are trails that come out of jets. Yes, I do. I believe it. But they're not... They're not planted. They're not planted seeds of chemicals by the government. What they are is a natural phenomenon of the jet fuel.
Okay,
the exhaust.
I'm not talking about.
It's the water. It's the condensation.
I understand, but tell me what are you? See, we don't. For you to tell me you can prove it, I don't even know what you're talking. So I don't call them chemtrails. Okay, I've seen the trails off of jets, and not all of them have it. It depends on the atmospheric conditions. So tell me, what are we talking about before you can tell me you can prove it? Are we talking? Go ahead.
You're talking about contrails. That's not what I mean.
I don't believe there are any chemtrails. Yes. If you're talking about the government or some entity.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm leaving it up to you as to how you define it. I'm simply saying take these two simple steps, and it has nothing to do with contrails. You're talking about contrails.
What are the
condensation trails?
What are the steps?
Okay, the two simple steps. Go to Google, type in chemtrail patents. It'll take you to the U.S. government patent page for chemtrail making equipment and explanations. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Chemtrail patents. And I'm going to the government website for this. A method is described for reducing atmospheric or global warming resulting from the presence of heat-trapping gases in the atmosphere from the greenhouse effect. Such gases are relatively transparent to sunshine, but absorb strongly. This is not a chemtrail. First of all, they're transparent. Though this is somebody filing a patent who says they have a way of putting gases out there to combat the greenhouse effect. The method includes a step of seeding the layer of heat-trapping gases in the atmosphere with particles of materials categorized as or by wavelength-dependent emissivity. Such materials include and oxides of metals, which have highly okay, so what it is, it's saying that this, I'm doing this live on the air. A method of reducing atmospheric warming due to the greenhouse effect by seeding clouds of gases and all of that. So this patent was filed in 1990. Okay? Now, what the Beater is saying is this is something that was filed. Now, here's what I'm asking you. And it was assigned to the Hughes Aircraft Company. and it is on the government site. So what does that mean? I'd like a scientist to look at this patent and tell us what it means. It says a method wherein material comprises aluminum oxide and some other chemicals. But here's what I want this beater to ask. But he hung up because he thinks he dropped the mic. Okay, he didn't. I mean, I can say I have a patent for something that isn't out there, but it doesn't mean something out there similar to that is what it is. First of all, this is not for cancer. This is not to control a population. This is a weapon, supposedly, against global warming or climate change. But the bottom line here is, are you saying, Beater, without hanging up and thinking you dropped the mic, you didn't, are you saying now that this patent then, filed by Hughes Aircraft Company, do you think it was taken then and all of these tanks were put in airlines? Every airline we see there. I'll guarantee you, if you track one of those flights where you see a chemtrail and you go inside that plane, you're not going to see any special tanks dispersing chemicals. Yeah, I'm talking about contrails, and I'm telling you that this is not in effect. That's what I'm saying. I'll stake my career on it that this is not happening. That's right. Make me retire. This is not happening in an organized effort. Now, I'm not saying that Hughes Aircraft Company hasn't maybe sent up a prototype now and then to try to measure the heat transmission. I am saying that we do not have the airlines and the government or anyone involved in a massive conspiracy to spread these gases around the globe.
Tom, I think the tools exist to put stuff in the air.
Of course they do.
But the application, the impetus to control our mind, control populations, and so on and so forth, is not being supported.
I don't even think this global warming weapon is being used in an organized fashion.
Yeah, I'm just saying the tools are there.
Yeah.
But,
we have more.
But the usage is not.
Coming up.
You know, it is amazing, though, that they are describing chemicals in the air.
Oh, Tom, look here.
What's that cloud seeding?
Yeah, that's what we're going with. These are all different patents for different equipment.
And I also studied construction going on West on I-70
Okay.
your way towards I-25
And different ways of doing it. The FCC is involved. All these guys are involved. But the impetus, the application, mind control,
Harvard says
population
chemtrails
control.
refers to a theory that governments or other parties are engaged in a secret program for toxic chemicals.
The tools, yeah.
With a high near 60.
You know what they say about conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Impact traffic and weather. I'm Chris McLaughlin. 6:30.
No, what? What do they say?
Invisible Fence brand.
Is it 3 people can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead?
Same with murderers.
To play outside while providing you confidence they're secure. Visit invisiblefence.com to learn more. Invisible Fence brand. Surround your pets with care.
Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan is something I've been telling people for years. Ideal is the company I go to for mortgage advice because they are our experts in the mortgage business. They can be yours too. They have salary-based loan officers that really seek to find the best loan for you, not the best loan for them. Whether it be 30 or 15 or you get to pick your term. They have low rates. They're direct mortgage lenders with no middlemen. Most everyone else you hear advertising is a broker. Not Ideal. They're direct mortgage lenders. They control the entire process. At Ideal, first they listen, then they lend. And they lend their own money. You need lower payments or shorter term, cash out to fix up your house, consolidate credit cards, home improvements. Whatever it is, they can help you with that. Or you want a simple refi, or you want a pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. You're already done. The money set aside, you just find the house. It gives your contract strength. 303-867-7000, 867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. Becoming the banker, I've been talking about this concept. It's called Become the Banker. And the reason they say that is because if you have a life insurance policy and you pay more than the premium on purpose and you build up this cash, it grows tax-free. And the government or the IRS allows you to borrow from it without claiming it as income as long as you pay it back. But you want to pay it back with more interest, which helps shelter more money. The idea is to do that until retirement and then take it in a series of loans as paychecks. And don't pay taxes ever. It's a really good program done by the people at mymoney.myway.com. What else you will see there is annuity programs for income. If you have a lump sum you want to roll over, mymoneymyway.com. Mark, we love Buddy Mitchell.
Yeah, we do. In fact, Suzanne and I have used them for flooring in our house multiple times. They've done LVT, they've done carpet a few times. They're a great company, but what I really like besides the great service and the free design services, you know what else they do? They generally can beat the big box by up to 40%. Set your online appointment right now at simplyfloorsinc.com.
Hola, Carla speaking.
Mark, want to hear something interesting?
Yeah.
Eric Schutte said he thinks it was a glitch. He doesn't think anybody got tickets. He said there's not one person on our fan site saying, got tickets, can't wait, nobody. He thinks it was all bullshit and a Ticketmaster glitch.
Is this Metallica?
No, this is the Killers.
The Killers, the one.
Killers, it's the best band in the world, not the second best band in the world.
Where are they playing?
Hey, Dave Porter.
At my favorite hotel on Mark's 50th birthday.
Wow.
At the Cosmo in Vegas. They're from Vegas.
Wow, unreal.
So anyway, here's
When's his birthday?
April 15th. He's turning 50.
Oh,
Tax day, baby.
We got to do something for his 50th birthday.
You got to go to Vegas and see the Killers with us.
Porterhouse says his Chevy Nova explained chemtrails to him clearly.
What is it?
So all the airlines, so the chemicals that are released at 35,000 feet make it down to us so we can breathe them in without it.
Oh, he explained that too. He said, okay, let me read. Okay. I'm reading you out loud, Dave Porterhouse. Here we go.
Let me hear this.
Porterhouse says, chemtrails are invisible. Done at low altitude for better effect on the public. The COVID vaccine is the catalyst for the chemtrails being spread. My Chevy Nova explained this to me one night.
Tell Porterhouse I will give a free psych evaluation anytime, anywhere, at his convenience.
Hey, Dave, I'll meet you in the parking lot after 2.
Asking, my son always thought it was funny. I told him when people come into the ER that we want to give a psych evaluation, we would ask them, do your teeth itch? If they said yes.
What time's Kaplan done? 6 or 7?
We turfed them over to the psych resident so we wouldn't have to work them up.
See if their teeth itch.
Their teeth itch.
Has just kept getting better and better. I also know hundreds and hundreds of you that have tried it and feel the same way because I see the feedback. I hear about it. I met with the owners and they share some interesting info on the latest batch of their most relief balls.
Let me read this one that you let Nightbot smack you down with.
I've got plenty. Also, I wanted to let you know that if you use promo code PLA/PayPal as a one-time code, please also feel free to use promo code Dave for 30% off your next order. The more and more I learn about CBD, the more thankful I become for this relationship with Blue Sky CBD. They're providing me with the highest quality products available at a lower cost per milligram.
Hey, Chris, I've had little hope for the next generation for quite a while.
Shipping on all orders. For more information, go to bluesky-cbd.com. Blue Sky CBD, Denver's talk station.
But your Chevy Nova, I need to consult with your Chevy Nova.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. WaterPros.net, the best water systems at the lowest prices. Whole house drinking fountains, or a drinking fountain, at the kitchen for the whole house, and never buy bottled water again under $1,000. Whole house softening under $2,000. You'll never find better for the price or the better people to do it. And that's, in fact, you're not going to find anything better at triple the price because that's what most people charge. WaterPros.net. Let's talk. We have our public adjuster, and I have a few questions for him piling up I want to get to, but I want to just get to these phone calls who have been waiting. Don, you have a mortgage question. Go ahead.
Hi, Don.
Yeah, Tom, I was just wondering. Yeah, hi, Tom. With these lower rates, which are going to go up, it seems like we all should refi, right?
Yeah.
But when I look at my I don't know. So let me just give you a couple numbers. I'm at 4.6 right now, 4.6% interest. I'm 5 years into a 30-year. I can get that down to 3.7 and save $100 a month, but my balance would go from 140 to like 148. So
Wait. Why would it go to 148?
Closing.
Well, it's like $6,700 closing costs.
And who is that with?
That's initial numbers from Wells Fargo.
Okay, I would shop that.
He's going to get a little better, but to take his point, he's correct there, and he's forgetting one other thing. If you look at your schedule, you've already paid 5 years of the highest interest you're going to pay, and you're going to start that all over again.
Well, you don't have to start it all over. You can shorten the term.
Yeah, you could do a 25-year, but then his payments are going to be roughly the same.
Yeah. So, Don, is your idea to help with cash flow?
Maybe a little bit. I'm retired, but also, I want to pay down the house. So, if I could lower my years and still have the same payment, that would be fine. What I'm stuck on is, saving $100 a month, it's going to take me 5.5 years at $100 a month to pay off those closing costs. And I'm starting a new 30-year. I mean, does that make sense?
Not unless you're going to stay in there the rest of your life.
Or if you're paying off high credit card debt and taking some cash out.
Yeah. It depends on your circumstance. How long are you going to stay there?
Probably another 10 years. No cash out, because I don't want to, do that. The house is worth like $500,000.
If you did it with Ideal Home Loans and rates went down, they'd refinance you free of charge. So you'd have nothing to lose.
Oh, wait, I just thought of something.
You're talking about the liquid loan.
Yeah, because the closing costs are going to be under $2,000. He's in a perfect equity situation to have a line of credit around $250,000, and he's going to be paying simple interest. His payment's going to go way the hell down.
You know what you ought to...
Way the hell.
Don, I want you to explore something called the liquid loan, okay?
I've heard you talk about it.
Well, it's a 30-year line of credit, and what you do is you get to pay whatever you want every month, and you get to take cash out. But if you just want to make payments, you can have simple interest only. Your payments go down, you eat more away at your principal, and you have a line of credit in case of an emergency. And it's called the liquid loan with affordable interest mortgage, AIM.
And if you have cash in the bank, you can move it over to one of their checking accounts. You can use it anytime.
Oh, that's right.
It's purely liquid,
that's right.
And it offsets.
So if you have money in the bank, it offsets it. Meaning that
a lot of money in the bank?
Any money. If you had $1,000 in the bank, it would offset $1,000 worth of interest, not $1,000, but interest on $1,000. It would offset it just by having the money in the bank. Here's affordable interest mortgage. It's 720-895-0500. 720-895-0500.
Hey,
I am so overtime.
Oh, Chris Abbott, stop.
What are they saying now?
Oh, okay, here we go.
Ask that dude how much his mortgage payment is right now. What do you say you owed? 150, guys? Anybody remember?
I don't think he didn't say anything.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't hear that.
So Chris Abbott tells Dave, he says, WTF, okay? Are you talking about your Chevy Nova told you about chemtrails, okay? Then he goes on a little further and says, take your hair, no, hold on.
With your impact, traffic, and weather.
Oh, God, now you're getting chemtrail bullshit.
Right now at Wendy's, see why everyone is raving about their brand new fries. Natural cut, skin on, with a hint of sea salt, and guaranteed to be hot and crispy, or they'll replace them.
Did you talk to that lady about the movie issue in Florida, Tom? That Gloria person?
Participating U.S. Wendy's.
The Art of Granite is a place to get countertops at wholesale on materials. Tear out and haul away's free. The bathroom's free when you do the kitchen. And we've known Mitch Fleer for many years, and he will come. He will give you a price on the phone, by the way. So here's the deal: call the Art of Granite for any kind of countertop, even though it's called the Art of Granite, man-made or stone. He is open 6 days a week, closed Sundays. He's also, by the way, serving the entire Front Range and mountain communities. TheArtofGranite.com, 303-386-5919 for your price. 303-386-5919. People who get injured sometimes think the bigger, the better, the more bragging, the better when it comes to an attorney. Meanwhile, John Fuller is quietly getting giant settlements and verdicts and whatever he needs for you, looking for sources to collect and how to collect, and if it's worth going forward. He's a small firm on purpose with a cell phone he gives to you, a cell phone number, so you can be in direct contact. He doesn't assign his cases to underlings. He oversees every single case. So take John Fuller and use him for free legal advice when you're injured. And then if you hire him, there's no obligation. It's on contingency. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500.
What's up, Nuggets fans?
I wish there was a public adjuster for cars. There's no money in it. There's no money in it.
Yeah, Chris, I heard that this morning.
Pardon me, Mark. Are you doing something with that mortgage payment? Because I'm holding him. I sent it to your IM.
About to say something.
Oh, you did? Let me look.
Yeah. Did you want me to hold him?
He doesn't have to come back on air. I just wanted to know. I want you to tell him what I tell you here in a second.
Okay.
Get started at Orchard.com. You know, right now is the time to put your home to work for you. It really is, because all of that equity.
Holy shit, $1,500 a month.
It can now be accessed as time to improve.
Yeah, it looks like every brother.
Wow, I love that.
Buying for the Broncos.
Imagine the phone company canceling your phone service because they don't like what you say to your friends. Wow. That's what Facebook and Twitter do.
Except the phone company, well, I guess they used to be public utilities. Are they still regulated by the PUC?
Yeah.
Wait, who's regulated? They deregulated the phone companies. They deregulated them.
So does the PUC have any control over like Verizon's, Clint, AT&T?
Fuck no. I mean, phone company. That's why I was able to start a phone company. Nobody controls shit.
Well, then they can do that. If Facebook can do it, Verizon can do it.
695-7000. 303-695-7000.
So all you guys
who was canceled? Oh, you know, online that OAN, Online American Network or something, OAN, was canceled by some cable providers and satellite. Huh? Xfinity? Yeah, that's right. That's amazing that they canceled them. Just they don't fucking like them. Mark, did you know that? And that was a popular network.
He'd be under $500 a month. He's talking about saving $100 a month.
Concrete or asphalt for free, and give you an instant recycling cash credit toward our beautiful interlocking pavers.
Yep. Byron Allen wants to buy the Broncos.
Who does?
Byron Allen.
Really?
People don't realize how rich he is.
Who's Byron Allen?
People do not realize how rich he is.
A comedian who started many years ago.
But he's mainly
into media. He's a mogul.
He's mainly a producer.
Yeah.
I never heard of him.
Oh, big billionaire. Yeah.
I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he's fucking rich.
Yeah, I'm tripping off of Byron Allen, Robert F. Smith.
No, the best. Is
all these.
The very best is Tyler Perry.
Yes.
If you're talking about,
buying the Broncos.
No. But as billionaire and successful and funny and all around just nails everything he does.
Yeah, the guy who owns BET should buy the Broncos. That way they can have a black owner.
Do we have any black owners?
And you need to check your records. BET is no longer owned by blacks.
Oh no, really?
That's been gone a long time.
But it was started by a black, because he was the guy. He was good friends with my best friend, and that's what took him to Augusta. He was one of the few black members at the Masters.
No, but BET has been unblack for quite a while.
Okay.
Come on. Are you shitting me?
Don't let no black folks hold on to nothing too long.
Belco Credit Union is offering 1% APY on a
Well, no, that means he chose to sell.
Exactly. Well, you know, if you make the sack big enough, then nobody's gonna turn it down.
What's wrong with that? It's the American way.
Hey, and where are we at?
All these startups just do it to get bought out by a bigger startup.
And where are we at? We are in America.
That's right. The money is king.
Yeah. Money is green and everything is green. It's delusional. We are.
It's a green economy.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, we got a comment on chemtrails from JR. Go ahead, JR. What's your comment?
Hey, Tom, I got 3 real quick questions. Number 1, why is it these contrails, or as I call them, chemtrails, why is it that they shut on and off as the airplane is flying? That's number 1. Number 2, why do they stay in the air so long they don't dissipate like a contrail does, because they're chemtrails? And number 3, sometimes they pour it on so thick that it actually casts a shadow.
Now, by the way, who's they? Who? But you have to answer a question. Who's they that pours it on and it casts a shadow? Who's they?
Whoever's flying the airplanes.
And what about their airlines? Are they paying the airlines to take on? Why don't you guys ever want to answer questions? JR, are they paying the airlines for the extra poundage and weight?
From what I've read, this is not airlines that are carrying passengers. These are airplanes that have tanks in them.
Well, that's actually more believable if it was happening, but every time I look up and see these so-called chemtrails, they're airlines.
Look up right now, Tom, east of Denver, so between Strasburg and Pena Boulevard.
What do you think the purpose is?
Today they are spraying.
Well, that's where the traffic pattern is for DIA. But JR,
no.
What is the purpose of chemtrails? What is the purpose of chemtrails?
Okay, you can read 2 theories. Number 1 is for the global warming. They're trying to prevent global warming.
No, that's for sure. There is technology. I cannot deny it. There is technology, prototypes. They're trying to fight, but that is going to be done in a massive way. They're thinking of even rocket ships. And by the way, and further I read, it's going to be invisible, so you wouldn't know they're doing it anyway.
Right, and then number 2.
Well, say right. I just conflicted everything you said. It's not going to be done in airplanes, and it's not going to be visible. And you just said right. Well, then that conflicts with what you're saying.
No, I'm not going to argue what you're saying. I'm saying if that's what you believe, okay, that's right with you.
I'm reading the company who patented it. I'm reading the company who patented chemtrails, or they don't call them chemtrails, but clouding or seeding to combat global warming. I'm reading it. That's why they're doing it.
Okay. And are you reading what's actually in that cloud seeding?
Yeah, there were a bunch of things in there. I read it. I didn't understand what it does. But, JR, here's the point. What's the other theory? That they're killing people off? I mean, hold on if you want to spread more nuttiness, because I'm not Facebook.
Are you suffering from chronic joint?
I'll let it spread. I'm not Facebook.
I couldn't. Was he disproving it, or was he reinforcing it?
He
believes it. I couldn't tell whether he was being sarcastic or not.
You know, the first time.
You know what, though? I got to tell you something, though. God damn it. Harvard Patent Office, they say there are planes right now prototyping this.
Yes.
They're doing it right now.
Yeah, but you're forgetting the original nutcases think they're doing it for fucking mind control.
Exactly.
Or to make it so you can't have children.
Right.
Or whatever the fuck it
That's
is.
what you got.
Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. And the claim that there is a large-scale secret program to spray materials from aircraft is extraordinary. Yet all the evidence we have seen to date is very weak. The most common claim is simply aircraft contrails look different without any comparative analysis. This is as convincing as saying alien beings walk among us and they look different. If this is a Harvard white paper, if there are really large-scale program dumping material from aircraft at a scale described, there would be a large operating program to manufacture low dispersed chemicals. If such a program existed to the scale it required, then there would be some evidence leaks or exposures. It would require thousands, tens of thousands of people to keep secret.
And you need air traffic controllers to admit there are planes on their radar that are not commercial or military.
If it was going to cause harm, alleged by people who believe in chemtrails, then people working in the program would have very strong personal motivations to reveal it. We don't trust the government. We'll always do the right thing, but we do trust goodwill of individuals to do the right thing. It says, if you believe in chemtrails, ask yourself how much cooperation this would require. Consider simple explanations. The internet is filled with people who are completely sure.
That's the same as everything. It's like
blame it on the CIA. You know that they don't answer to nobody.
No, but you need every air traffic
Yeah,
controller.
but they admit there are similarities to an implementation of the methods to control the climate.
Calling the new missile highly accurate and capable of evading radar, but none of that has been independently verified. It's no accident Iran showed
It's no accident.
arsenal now during what is the most critical stage of the Vienna nuclear talks. The regime appears to be reminding the U.S. and others
It was never tested and implemented, these cloud seeding programs, never. And it would be done from space.
The waters off the coast of LA are being tightly
did you see this
Not
news?
space, but almost.
They're telling people in San Francisco to invite the homeless into your fucking house. This is no fucking joke. Straight up, they're saying if you're going to be a good citizen, you need to invite one in to live with you.
While they're showing you a picture of a curb where actually it looks like somebody cracked open the sharps box and emptied out all the empties.
It is the craziest thing. I can't believe they're saying it to people.
It must be being sarcastic.
No. It's real as real gets, bro.
San Francisco solution.
Yeah, but
the homeless live with you.
But is that the Republicans or the Democrats?
There's literally playing TV commercials trying to get people to invite the homeless into their house.
Another Democratic controlled place dropping mask mandates.
It's possible at Staples.
I need my presentation printed, round, and perfect.
Wait,
So possible.
it's all going to change. Or by the time midterms come along, we're not going to have it. There will be no more pandemic. We have conquered it.
Well, there's both. I mean, you have the political motivations, as you said, but then you also have the fact that it's evading on its own.
Oh, for sure.
So,
but
that's normal. That it should be relaxed.
That happened a while ago. And kids were never in danger. I don't give a fuck what. They show 1 in a million.
Once the vaccine was widely available to everybody, the pandemic was basically over.
Shark Bait thinks it's just the flat earthers.
Can you believe that though? I mean, hey, go invite some schizophrenic, crazy ass bastard into your house. Hey, do you have kids? Oh, that's good. They have someone to play with. Well, it's the nuttiest shit I've ever heard.
Whoever came, what was the motivation for coming up with that?
Because they want them off the streets, and the only way to
why
get
would
them.
they think that anyone would be like,
I'm
oh,
sorry,
that's
hello?
a great idea? Like, who's going to do that?
Hey, Tina, what time? I think I got an appointment in the morning for 3 of our cats. Can you tell me what time it is? Just verify it tomorrow. My last name is Major.
Albedo modification has not been tested on a large scale.
What was that?
That patent for, I don't even know why they call it that, albedo.
And they can do it from space?
No, it's just below space. It can't be in space.
Yeah, that's right. That's
impact traffic.
How about if you did it on a meteor? Huh?
It would burn up the chemicals. They'd be incinerated.
No.
The interweb says that it must be true.
Albedo, I hope I even have the right vet. Are you guys our vet? Last name Major, M-A-G-E-R. My wife just sent me this phone number.
Spell that.
Do you even have us in your system?
Wait, it's stratospheric. So where's the stratosphere?
Stratosphere is probably
above the atmosphere.
About 50,000 feet. That's what I would guess.
I think she gave me the damn.
You know, there are different layers. There's the ionosphere, the stratosphere, the mesosphere, whatever.
The hiring platform that removed
I love my spheres.
for a job and immediately
I get so hung up on
quality
spheres.
candidates. And you can Schedule and conduct video interviews right on their site. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Albedo modification.
Yeah.
Or is it Albedo?
Okay.
Albedo.
All right, thanks, bye. Great, so I have no idea who our fucking bid is.
Adjusters International stands ready to provide you.
No, this is their fucking. Fuck them. This is them. Who? Fucking people. Fucking people.
That's 800-248-3888. 800-248.
I should have been born in the fucking Western days.
And you should have been born instead of manufactured.
What did I ask Gloria to do? This is crazy.
Even the tear out and hallway is free. And the bathroom is free when you have the kitchen done. You can get prices.
The troposphere, that's the sphere that we live in.
The stratosphere starts at 33,000.
I mean, this is definitely my fucking thing.
33,000 feet.
So we do fly in the stratosphere.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And then
That's why they have all those Boeing planes, the Strato Tanker, the Strato Cruiser.
the mesosphere is where you get to dodge meteors. The thermosphere is where, if you're out there, it's cold. And the exosphere, the edge of space.
Station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword.
The stratosphere is pretty damn cold, too. You're up to 33,000 feet.
Man, get up to 17,000 feet and it's cold. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying.
Go outside.
Even at the top of Vail Pass, at 13,000 feet, it's cold.
Man, I remember the first time I went over the Continental Divide. I didn't know what the heck was going on. It was snowing that day.
It must have been in July, right?
Huh? It was not fun.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome. And by the way, One Clear Choice Garage Doors is a place to get 24/7 service for emergencies or regular maintenance of garage doors, and you won't find a better company that will respond. All of their prices are fully disclosed on their website, oneclearchoicedoors.com, 720-370-3987. It's the one I use. And you can get doors, openers, or any part of them. oneclearchoicedoors.com. If you're looking for a garage door company, there it is. 720-370-3987. Hey, I have a discussion going on. I didn't want to go on chemtrails. We'll talk about that in a minute. We also have our public adjuster, which is way more important. And then we have about insurance claims, and it's Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado.com or just COClaims.com. I want to take Gloria, though, because I asked her to contact her credit card company where she put a deposit down on a move and got nothing in return. They said, well, you signed a binding contract. And I said, ask your credit card company to prove that you signed something. Tell them you don't recall signing anything. Gloria?
The problem is that the company is saying that what I signed is something entirely different from what I did sign.
No, what I'm asking is, can they produce what you supposedly signed?
Well, they're saying that I signed the other thing.
No, I'm asking, Gloria, if the credit card company has seen evidence of that and can share that with you.
Show me what I signed.
Well, they say they have, but what they send me is encrypted, and I can't break into it.
Ask them, tell them you want an attorney to review what you signed, and you don't have a copy of it, so you don't recall signing it, and you need your credit card company to help you. You believe it's a scam. That's all I can tell you, Gloria, okay? And they need to send it. That's all we can do. We can't do anything without it. Jerry, what's your comment on traffic enforcement? Go ahead, Jerry.
Yes, Tom.
Yes.
It's been about 30 years since I talked to you.
How long ago?
About 30 years.
30 years. I might remember you as you keep going. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yes. You're talking about Rocky Mountain radar, and I was the tech that called you back.
Oh,
and
my
told you that
goodness.
What they were doing was literally impossible unless they were violate the law themselves.
Hey, yeah, because you weren't allowed to generate. In fact, it didn't have enough power to generate a jamming signal. Rocky Mountain Radar was the biggest ripoff perpetrated on consumers. And in fact, I shut him down and moved him out of state with so much bad publicity on Channel 4 plus on the radio. But this guy was never prosecuted by authorities. When I met with the Attorney General, they knew it didn't work. It was absolutely a scam. I mean, it was literally a scam. It did absolutely nothing. It wasn't even a good radar detector. It did nothing. It was you could put a dog turd in there and case it in plastic and call it Rocky Mountain Radar. He'd put it on the dash and claim that when radar or laser was pointed at it, it would jam it or reflect it back. Never happened. We took it out to the track. We took it out to the track with state police, and we tested it over every single product. The man was allowed to scam. And when I met with the Attorney General, do you know the reason they gave me? He's not high priority because, frankly, the people who buy something to thwart police should be ripped off. That was their excuse. So there was no sympathetic. There's no sympathetic victim. For example, if you wanted to buy cop armor piercing bullets and you send money in and don't get anything back, who do you think's going to go after that ripoff? Nobody.
Yeah. I want to talk about something else here.
Go ahead, sir.
Denver.
Go ahead.
I'm up here in Montana. I haven't even heard you for 30 years.
My goodness, how did you stumble on me?
Internet.
Okay, well, I'm glad you found me, man. What can I do for you?
Okay, Highway 6 going west. I got a ticket back in, I think it was 93. I took the Sims exit. And if you recall, Simsax is about a mile.
Yeah, but
long.
You're talking about a parking ticket how many years ago?
Not a parking ticket, a speeding ticket.
A speeding ticket.
About 30 years.
And why are you thinking about it? Why are you thinking about it?
Well, I was thinking that it is an area that I believe was called a honeypot by the Lakewood police.
Anyway, so you were stung 30 years ago in a speed trap. So what's going on? What about it?
Okay, I got it thrown out.
You got it thrown out. Good.
It didn't get thrown out for the reason you'd think.
Well, it doesn't matter, but what is the point today on that?
Well, when you start off on the exit, you've got a mile to get slowed down. Time for the stop sign or the light. I don't recall what's up the top hill. But when you take off, there's a sign, I believe it says the speed limit is now such and such. And the cop was sitting there just right behind the sign.
Jerry, are they still doing it?
Well, I heard someone say that. That's why I'm calling.
Okay. I was wondering how you were going to make that 30-year-old ticket relevant today. What you're saying is the way they got that ticket 30 years ago, they're still doing it.
Well, that's what I understand. And it's Lakewood, by the way.
So you believe Lakewood Police sits behind a sign on an off-ramp where people don't have enough room to decelerate to the speed limit on purpose to give them tickets. Isn't that in a nutshell?
That's exactly
I'm going to go check it out. If you could give us the exact location off the air, because I can't really go through this, and people don't care about addresses and directions and all that. I'd like to check it out. 303-713-TALK. All right, listen, I've been reading on and off about the chemtrails conspiracy theory and why some people now are reinvigorated with the discovery of these patents for what's called albedo modification. Albedo modification is seeding the stratosphere with invisible particles, by the way, to reflect sun back into the atmosphere and reduce greenhouse emissions. So it would help us with so-called global warming or climate change.
This has never been ever tested on a large scale. It's been in a laboratory. So all of these people who say that's what they're doing, according to the patent holder and everyone else, they have not done this yet. But JR thinks that was one of the reasons people believe in chemtrails. You were going to give me the other reason. What's the other reason people would believe in chemtrails? What do they believe they're doing? Because I think the discussion of chemtrails is ridiculous, but truly, I am not Twitter, I'm not Facebook, I'm not social media. I don't care who's calls with any theory they can call. What is your theory?
Okay, so my theory is it's not good. So,
what do you think they're doing?
People have said that they have found in the areas testing trees, plants, stuff like that, where after the downfall of the chemtrail, they found aluminum oxide, which is bad to humans. But they've also, you want to delve deep into conspiracy, they're talking about red blood cells has been found in there also.
Okay,
now let me ask you a question real quick, Tom. Let me ask you one question real quick.
Before you ask me questions, you guys drop all kinds of bombs. I love the way conspiracy-minded people drop bombs and then don't ever do follow-up. Here's what I want to ask you. They found remnants of red blood cells and aluminum oxide. So what is the purpose of spending this money to contaminate the earth? Now tell me the purpose behind it. What is the motivation?
How about population control?
Okay, so they're going to kill certain parts of the population?
Well, there are genetic bioweapons that are out there that do kill specific races, specific people.
Okay.
Why wouldn't it be?
So is that what they're doing? Who are they trying to kill? I'm asking a question. I don't expect you to have the answer, but what do you think?
You and me, if you ask conspiracy theories, I mean, the Georgia Guidestones.
But why? What is the purpose?
500 million people on the earth.
What is the purpose of population control? Is it to let our resources last longer?
Too many people on the earth.
Okay, so how do they decide who dies?
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't answer that.
These people are going crazy over COVID, and you think they want to kill off more people?
Tom, how many, there's 200, I'm going to give you the answer.
Why didn't they just let COVID go rampant? No, why did they battle COVID? If this is perfect population control.
COVID. If you ask about that, if you want to get into COVID is, every vaccination actually ruins your immune system.
Okay, JR, I don't know about that actually. All I know is this, okay, JR, I'm not a fan of mandates or anything, but I don't want to get there. You probably think COVID was manufactured just for population control, right?
I would say a little bit.
Yeah. Do you walk around looking for black helicopters, or is it just...
I see them all the time, actually.
Okay. JR...
but they're not following me. Hey, Tom, let me ask you a question. 200 experiments were done on American citizens since 1945. They're testing biological weapons.
Well, I don't know if what you're saying is true. Wait, JR, I don't know even if your premise is true, so I'm not going to react to it. You said 200 experiments. I don't know your source for that. In fact, this is not a discussion I want to continue. Not because I don't want it heard. It's because you dropped these generalities. Now, if you said, according to this, there were 200 experiments, give me 3 of the top experiments that were done. Go ahead, JR, and on which population? Go ahead.
Tuskegee.
Okay.
Experiments on men.
Okay.
How about, like I was just saying, about 6 months ago in New York City subway.
And so what does there have been some experiments that were done, and they were stupid, but on a massive scale, what does that mean?
They're testing the effects of biological weapons on the humans, on us, on everybody.
Okay.
They're trying to figure out how things are spread, how fast they can be spread.
Well, I don't doubt, by the way, that there are people testing biological weapons in this world. I don't think they're doing it through seeding clouds.
Well, like I said, it's a matter of what you read and what I read.
Well, they don't want to kill themselves. They don't want to kill their loved ones. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe they're doing unfettered testing of chemicals in the atmosphere to see who it kills. I just don't believe it. Sorry. Do I think there are some labs somewhere testing the effects of biological weapons? I sure do. Yep, I sure do. Just like they were testing, gain of functions on little beagle puppies or whatever they were doing to them. I believe all of that. But I don't believe there is one massive conspiracy to kill a large number of people in the world. And I'm not going to keep the discussion up. I mean, I like that you people listen seriously. I don't mind discussing now and then what you think. But so many people come with, they knit together independent things that are true, but the knitting together does not make the conspiracy true.
First Chemtrail Island.
This guy is a bona fide
Do
you believe that the government, now Tuskegee was they did, what did they do? LSD? What did they do?
Tuskegee gave black men syphilis and let them die.
That is fucked up.
It's very, very.
Who did it?
Was
it the Army?
It was the Army, I believe. What video? What's going on, AG? What's your problem?
Hey, fixmyhome.com.
That's Fix It 24/7. They have unleashed their special that has taken everyone by storm, and that is the clean, extreme clean, and check and adjustment of your furnace. Now more than ever, you need to keep it running strong. And here's the deal. They give you a no breakdown guarantee. Now, you may say, oh, they're just looking for something wrong. They're really not, because parts are hard to find. They do have them, and of course, if they find something, they'll give you the choice of what you want to do, but you never have to be obligated to pay more than $24. It used to be $39, which was a scream. Some people would call this a refurbishment and charge hundreds, but fixmyhome.com, you go there for $24 for new customers, you get this extreme clean check and adjust of your furnace with a no breakdown guarantee. It's that simple. Now more than ever, you got to keep it running. Don't wait for it to fail and then have to wait 6 weeks, maybe 6 months for something to replace it. Fixmyhome.com. Let's talk now about reverse loans. You know, you can live off your equity tax-free. You can extract it without ever paying tax on it. You can also get a lump sum or a line of credit in emergencies. If you're looking at a reverse loan, go to a company I know and trust, ApprovalReverse.com and Joan Sullivan. It's that simple. You need someone who will explain the ins and outs and ups and downs, and the ones who know how to craft this loan and not overcharge you for this loan. 303-771-3528. 303-771-3528. And you heard me talk about core scans. By now, I hope you know, it's a very simple sit-down scan. Keep your clothes on. You sit in a dental chair and it takes less than 15 minutes. And it can detect soft plaque, which is a direct indicator of your risk of cardiovascular disease, heart disease, and risk of stroke. And then there are treatments for it. Of course, they'll send you somewhere. You go to your own doctor, and insurance covers that. But for $189, you can find out what soft plaque you have dwelling in you. And by the way, this is not a calcium score. This is something of immediate danger. Corescans.com, C-O-R, corescans.com, 720-740-2663, 720-740-2663.
What's done more to improve?
So my kid was calling from the passport office.
Tommy, your brother called again, and I just do my best.
We're not putting him on the air, but
no, I just
what is he saying? Now I sent him money.
Something he said he got it. He needs you to call some dealership in Florida about these people not getting their money back. I just am polite and send you the info, just so you know.
Good.
And I just said I have to really go get back to the show, and I cut him a little bit short because he'll go on and on.
Yeah. Well, I want you to cut him short. He's mentally ill.
Okay, I feel bad.
I know. I do too, but the whole family feels bad. We're supporting him, and he does nothing.
Oh, Jesus, here we go. Just, I hate any time he fucking brings this shit up. I can't stand it. It's a whole show turns into some fucking insane. Now a guy's going to come on and talk about Bill Gates and climate change and how Bill Gates is trying to buy the entire world.
Well, he is. You don't think Bill Gates is trying to buy the world? Shit, he was walking down my street 3 days ago, handing out dollars.
I hate this.
Who was that?
Bill Gates.
I'm craving a hot dog.
Go to Costco.
I'm not going to go to Costco. I might hit the Conoco, though.
Don't say it to Belinda. She'll make chili dogs, man, and you'll have to come get them.
Damn it, now I'm going to have to call this guy. You want a water or anything, man?
I got one here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, it's Mark with the Tom Martino Show. How are you? Yeah, so what's going on? I sent over that phone number to the people over there, and they don't recognize that number or anything. Can I get an address on you or where it happened? Or No. What I want is just the address of where what happened, wherever the part was. Okay, but what's the address, the service address? Okay. How do you spell that? L-E-Y-D-O-N, straight. Okay. Commerce City. 822. And what phone number would they have? Wait, 8. Oh, I see. No. Hold on. No. That's not what I'm asking. Hold on. You're going to have to give me all that information. Okay, give me that address again. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right, I will give you a call back in a few minutes, all right? Yep, we're all good. Bye.
Tom Martino here. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, coclaims.com. Joel, we really appreciate you having on board the referral list and on the show here. It's really important. I am such a big believer in public adjusters. What I want to know right now is, where are your main calls coming from? The fire, or what are your main claims right now?
Yeah, right now I'm getting a ton of calls related to the Marshall Fire.
Now, what can you do, though? One email said, Tom, if it's a total loss and I have a dwelling amount, what can Joel do?
Well, if it's a total loss and the house burnt to the ground, what we would need to do is look at the policy to see if there's enough in the policy to cover a rebuild. Unfortunately, in a lot of those claims where it's a complete loss, the amount of the policy is under what the amount would be.
Even though it's called replacement?
Even though it's called replacement, and there's a number of reasons why. One is the cost of repairing and the cost of materials and supply chain issues have driven up.
But even though it says replacement, it still has a finite value attached to it.
Right, it's the policy limits on the dwelling.
Right, and then you take that policy limit on the dwelling, and even if you have a rider, very few people have an unlimited rider, although they are available. Some have a 10 or 15% rider, and they're blowing past that.
Right, so what it's called is extended coverages.
Okay.
And oftentimes, even if you ask for a copy of your full policy, it won't include these extended coverages. You have to
on purpose.
On purpose. So
God.
So as a public adjuster, when I see that we're getting into that kind of a situation, I have to ask the agent, is there extended coverages available? Oftentimes there is, and they're done in increments of 20%, 30%, 40%. That's the way I've seen them.
Okay.
And so those will kick in after the full policy.
But then what if you still can't afford it? What do you do? Does your mortgage company give you more money because they are, they're going to be burned too?
No, I know that FEMA is providing some gap coverage for people.
Like just giving them money for it?
You have to apply for it.
Do you have to pay it back?
It's a grant.
Now, do you help with that kind of stuff too?
Yes, we can.
So, in other words, you help make people whole even if they're deficient in coverage.
Yes, potentially. If there's
right, if it's a lost cause, I mean, you're going to tell them up front.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
We're definitely happy to evaluate.
But you'll do a free evaluation of everything.
Yeah.
For that person.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very cool. COClaims.com.
How about if they don't, let's say the neighborhood was burned down, the whole neighborhood, maybe a house or two standing up, and they don't want to rebuild there. They just want to take as much as they can get and leave. How does that work? What do insurance companies do there? How do you recover the depreciation? I mean, what can you do in a circumstance like that? Because I bet there's a lot of people in Boulder County that don't want to move.
Yeah, what?
Right, so, you know, in a situation where you're saying that somebody's house is completely lost.
Right.
Yeah, like up in Granby, there was people that were on 3-4 acres, the house burned down, the forest burned down. They don't want to live in charred remains.
They don't want to live there, even if they can get paid to rebuild. They don't want to. Can they take the cash and leave?
And go buy a house.
Yeah, they absolutely can do that.
The same money, or do they diminish it because you're not building?
Yeah, how do you capture the depreciation?
Exactly.
Well, that's the problem, is that you're going to have issues with the depreciation on that. But you know what you have to demonstrate is that you don't have the ability to rebuild.
And then of course you can sell the lot, but the lot may not be worth much at that point.
Right. It's a difficult situation for people.
If somebody could start a land trust to buy up burnt properties and then reseed for the generations ahead, I'm serious about that, by the way, for their kids or grandkids. 303-713-TALK. Let me keep going. Sheila, I'm so sorry for the way. Sheila, what's going on with your refi?
Okay, so I am trying to get a refi because they keep asking me take cash out, take cash out. Okay, fine. I'm going to take out $100,000.
And who are you dealing with? Who are you dealing with?
Mr. Cooper out of Dallas, Texas.
Okay, how'd you find Mr. Cooper out of Dallas, Texas? Because to encourage you to take cash out is irresponsible if you didn't want it. And
we got Mr. Cooper.
He's just trying to raise money. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
That's our mortgage company.
Who?
Mr. Cooper.
Who's we?
Yeah.
Who's we?
Suzanne and I.
Oh, I see. That's the name of the company.
They're a big-ass company.
Oh, I get it. I didn't know what you meant.
Mr. Cooper. It's Mr. Cooper.
Cooper, yeah. They used to be Nation.
It's not a person. It's a massive loan company.
I get it. So.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to know. Anyway, so you decided to take $100K out.
Yes. And so everything was due, credit score 725, set closing dates, had a few, bumps here and there. So we get to the closing date, they tell me, which doesn't show on my credit report, that, hey, you got a lien on a second lien on your property. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, well, you need to go to Arch and clear the lien. So I go to Arch, I'm like, well,
who's Arch?
What is this?
Hold on, dear. Don't go too fast. Who's Arch?
Arch is a debt collector.
Okay, and who are they collecting? Let's speed. I don't want to get to the process. Let's speed forward. What is the bill?
$43,000 is what Arch told me.
And what do they say you owe it for?
Because when I first had the mortgage with Shea Mortgage, they sold to Bank of America. Bank of America sold to Nation Star, which is Mr. Cooper now. So Bank of America somewhere along the line said that it was the second mortgage to begin with for $85,000.
Do you recall? Did you have a second mortgage?
Yes.
Okay. Is it possible that you did not pay off completely something in the past, and this is a real deal?
That is totally true, Tom.
Okay, hold on. This shouldn't hurt you now because you have enough equity. Instead of taking 100 out, I don't think you should take anything out unless you really need it. But instead of taking 100 out, you take 70 out, or you take whatever 67 or whatever 68, and let them have the rest.
Okay, and so I thought about that, but we actually needed the money. We're trying to grow our small business. We need some heavy equipment, which is very expensive. Okay, I get that part. I says, oh, my goodness, you told me a long time ago this thing was written off back in Bank of America.
Well, it doesn't matter if it was written off. That doesn't mean they can't collect it unless it's past 6 years. Hold on. First, there's a few things. I shouldn't say past 6 years. If it's a lien on your house, they can enforce it. If it's an active lien, how old is that lien?
The last letter I received from them was 2012. I want to say I don't have the paperwork in front of me, unfortunately.
What's that?
I didn't think I...
What, Mark? Did you have a bankruptcy back then?
No, sir. Never, ever had a
Why
bankruptcy.
wouldn't they come after you?
Sheila,
Why did it
Sheila.
sit around and you didn't pay it for
Just
so
hold on,
long?
Sheila. This is really important.
Yes.
I just forget everything and let's just talk about this. This is most likely a valid debt. Let's say 33 grand.
Okay.
But what we have to figure out, okay, is if they truly wrote it off. They're allowed to do that, and they're allowed to come back after it. They can, but then but as far as on their books, it will now be income because they took the deduction. Now they have to take the income. As a lot of people think when something is written off, they get off the hook, and they don't.
That's
they
what
can
I thought.
No, they can write it off on their taxes.
Okay.
That's what it means. They write it off, but they still have an active loan if it's not past 6 years past due. If it is, they can't get a lien or a judgment, but they already got the lien. What we have to figure out, is the lien actually active or is the lien just left over? Because they only had a certain amount of time to exercise that lien. You need to call a real estate attorney. Honest to God, you really do, Brad O'Brien. And he can get you the answers. I mean, we might be able to get him on, but this is a real deal, and you need to attack this. This isn't something that's just a little inconvenience.
If she hadn't heard from
Why would they just write it off? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
because they do it all the time to get the tax benefit that year. They have a big earnings year. They
So
fucking write
So
off.
she's paying, and they just say, "Fuck it, we're going to let it go."
No, she wasn't paid.
Then
She
why
said-
isn't it on her credit or anywhere else?
Oh, I don't know. They didn't report it. But people write shit off all the time, and people think, oh, they wrote it off. That doesn't mean you're out of the woods unless it's 6 years expires. And then, but what if here's the weird thing, though. They wrote it off, yet kept the lien. I think that lien is old. I think that lien is not active.
I don't know, man. I don't understand any of it.
Well, if they wouldn't refinance, doesn't that mean that they checked it and it is active?
Well, it's on, just because it's clouding title doesn't mean it's on the title. It doesn't mean it should be on the title.
Okay.
What'd you say? Yeah, I don't know, man. What'd you do with stem cells? Suzanne said you were doing stem cells for a while.
Yeah, I ran a clinic for a long time, and now I work with another clinic close by here. I do all the intake, answer all the patients' questions, order that.
Let's talk about BlakeHarrisLaw.com. He is an estate planning
Attorney, and you can ask him questions free of charge. 833-ASK-BLAKE. And what will you find out? You will find out everything you need to know about wills, estates, beneficiaries' deeds, or assignments for car titles. Whatever you need, he can do for you. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, and he answers the questions free. And then all you do is decide what you want him to do, and he charges flat rates. 833-ASK-BLAKE. BlakeHarrisLaw.com. Hey, speaking of attorneys, how about Joe Lazzara? I hope you never hear his name again, but I hope you write it down because he's a criminal defense attorney and he handles DUIs. I don't want to make light of that. He doesn't just handle them. He gets you through the system. Listen, on something like a DUI, the last thing you want to do is really have a pressured situation looking for an attorney. He'll give you free legal advice, and then if you hire him, it's flat rates. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan is not just a slogan, it's for real. Ideal does so many things for their lenders. First of all, the interest rate guarantee. If rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. And that's a 2-year guarantee. Every time you close, you get another 2 years. Here's another thing, a pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. Think about it. You're looking at homes, you put in a contract, you're not waiting for approval. It's done. All they have to do is get the title work and you can close. IdealHomeLoans.com. Not to mention credit optimization. No matter what your credit tier is, they try to improve it to help you, even if you're approved, and to get you better pricing. 303-867-7000. They're salary-based loan officers. They're not looking to get a loan that yields high returns for them. They're looking for the best loan for you. First they listen, then they lend at IdealHomeLoans.com.
Are you suffering from chronic joint pain, maybe in your knees or hips? Well, there is a new way to treat joint pain, all with biologic therapies. These regenerative solutions are now available to you and me. You know, a lot of people have already called QC Kinetics, and they're discovering that they are the nation's leader in helping you deal with chronic pain, with no surgery, no drugs, no steroids, and no downtime. Regenerative treatments, these biologic therapies, can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints with long-lasting results. So whether it's joint pain from arthritis, lower back pain, shoulder pain, don't suffer any longer. Change the way that you think about pain treatments and discover the biologic therapies at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is now available to us right here in Colorado. So no more excuses. Get out of that pain with real regenerative biological treatments that help your body heal and eliminate pain. Call them and tell them Michael Brown sent you. 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. Regenerative, restorative, real pain relief.
Welcome to me Casa, Catherine.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is.
Oh my, is that a real Picasso?
No, don't touch it.
It's covering a hole in the drywall.
Yeah, my plumber repiped the house. I had leaks and low water pressure, but he doesn't fix drywall.
And behind this Van Gogh?
No, don't touch that.
Another hole.
Yeah.
Why didn't you call Repipe Specialists?
Repipe what?
Repipe Specialists. They can repipe your whole house in 1 or 2 days, so no more leaks or low water pressure. And then they'll offer to fix the holes so it's ready to paint. And for about half the price of a plumber.
Got leaks or low water pressure? Call Repipe Specialists. They'll repipe your whole house in 1 or 2 days with PEX tubing and then offer the option to complete the job by repairing the drywall.
Oh, frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ought to cover that hole with a Monet.
Call 303-228-2910 for a free in-home estimate and pay nothing down with no payments or interest for a year. That's 303-228-2910. Call today, 303-228-2910, or visit repipe.com.
As we age, we can't always plan on good health, but you can plan long-term care coverage to give peace of mind to you and your family. Hey, it's Mandy Connell, and a great way to learn about long-term care is to join my friends from 525 Advisors for their upcoming free long-term care planning live webinar this Saturday morning at 9. You'll learn so much. 525 Advisors will explain how long-term care works, what the coverage pays for, and you'll discover all the new options and different ways to fund a plan. They even have plans with lifetime benefits that pay you back if you never use it. Then when you're ready, 525 Advisors will design a custom plan with you, just like they're doing for my husband and me right now. I love how much time they've spent with us, and it's not just me. Read the reviews. People love working with Brian and Madeline at 525 Advisors. So get the great peace of mind long-term care coverage gives you. Sign up now for the free live webinar this Saturday morning at 9. Sign up at 525longtermcare.com. That's 525longtermcare.com.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-8255. You know, I know these guys, these window washers and pressure washer, these guys, I love talking about them. Premier Window Washing. Man, just wait for this number because you will never, listen to this, get a better price or better people. These guys started out of high school. They're major, commercial and residential. They do a great job. Premier Window Cleaning Denver.org. I'm going to give you the number. Okay, they do pressure washing too. You'll get great pricing, great dedication, good young men who really work at having a successful company. I love rewarding people like this. 303-564-5574. 303-564-5574. 564-5574. Premier Window Cleaning and Pressure Washing. Okay, let's keep going here. Now, I need to get to the phones now. On this Sheila thing, we need to get her with Brad O'Brien. Sheila, you understood what I said. A lien is showing up in your home. Here's what I suspect. If they wrote off the loan, it means you weren't making payments and they thought it was quite hopeless, and maybe that was during the recession. But if they kept it alive, if they did a lien, then that lien would still stay on even if the statute of limitations expired on the original debt. However, if they did a lien, they have to renew that lien or that should be taken off. I don't know how old that lien is on your house. You mentioned, somebody said it was an active lien. What does that mean?
Well, I'm not sure, Tom.
That's
but
right. That's what I want you to do. We need to find out how old that lien is, and if they, because they only get a certain amount of time to perfect that lien, otherwise it drops off. So really, you got to do some homework. You really do, Sheila. You know, your lender should be doing this for you too. I mean, they should really help you. They could do an investigation. Now, how far down the road are you with Mr. Cooper?
So we started in October, and I just didn't close it because they wanted me to pay it off. And so what I was telling Mr. Cooper, I says, here's the thing. You've drugged me from October so stressful. Why didn't you pull the title in the beginning before I paid for an appraisal, almost $700?
That's true. That's a good point.
And yeah, and that's what I told him. I said, I was a banker for 20 years, a bank manager. I says, and you should never tell a customer that they are approved.
How much do you have out? How much do you have out with them?
How much do I owe Mr. Cooper?
Yeah.
Yeah, $300,000 on my mortgage, but my home's valued at $750,000. And so I told him, I says, that's like telling a lady she's pregnant, then you tell her she's not. I says, you have drugged me through this.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to hook you up with a real estate attorney. Hang on. Craig, you want to give us some information. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Kind of want to back up the gentleman that called about the chemtrails. There's a gentleman that is called Dane Wigington. He has a website called geoengineeringwatch.org.
Yeah.
He has gone to Senate hearing committees.
Yeah.
And presented this.
What's the point with Geoengineering Watch? Exposing climate engineering. I see it.
Yep.
You see, here's the thing. At least he's not saying they're trying to kill people. You know.
No, but he's done the research. He's in. You know, everybody's saying trust the science. Well, he's got the science.
This is the only place. Here's where we part company, seriously, because I don't want to get this into a big discussion, because I don't think most of my audience cares. But we started talking about chemtrails, and I didn't think there was a mass conspiracy to kill people, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody brought up something that's legit. Okay? It really is, and it is albedo modification. It is an active science program, not governments. They're independent scientists doing work on a prototype. They believe that putting certain things high in the atmosphere can reflect heat from the Earth and possibly slow down climate change or help. Now, what people in the chemtrails people have done is extrapolate that to mean, oh, that's what they're doing with the cloud seeding. First of all, you know, they say, if you want to believe them, that this albedo modification, they have not done large-scale testing, nor is the program even implemented. The one who holds the patent says it is simply in the prototype stages. So, Craig, do you believe, I'm asking you, do you believe that the current so-called chemtrails, which I call contrails, do you believe they are part of the global warming initiative, the fight against global warming?
Yes and no. They're using the guise of the climate engineering or climate change. In 2017 on Harvard's website, they admitted they were going to be spraying chemicals in the sky.
No, I read it. I read the white paper. That is exactly not what they said. They said that the technology of albedo, I got the white paper right in front of me from Harvard from 2017. The technology of albedo modification involves a mixture of chemicals and particles that they will seed the air with in hopes of cooling the planet. And here's what they said. There are no plans yet for any delivery system. It would most likely be in a rocket ship or something, and there are no plans, nor do they have actual ways to distribute yet. It's all theory. So you're telling me from 2017, when they said it was all theory, till now, they have they boarded them on all the aircraft, on all the airlines?
No, not all the airlines, not all the aircraft. There's a very simple way to know if it's a contrail or a chemtrail. If you look in the sky and you see a plane and it's got a white tail following it and it dissipates in a matter of 2 to 3 or 10 seconds or 30 seconds or 1 minute, that's a contrail.
No, it's not. It's winds aloft. As a pilot, we learn that you look at those as well as clouds to find out what the winds aloft are doing. What a stupid. Now listen. I can't just. I can't have that, man. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm not going to discuss it. Okay. I can't.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Right now, we're looking at.
So if they stay there, they're chemtrails. If they dissipate, they're contrails.
Picked up by that microphone right there. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is every input here has its own volume.
What are these inputs?
Basically,
You mean these 4?
Yeah.
Okay, not these down here.
Everything there has volume. So that's why you have to be careful. That's why you have to be careful.
What are these down here? I can't.
Watch this right here. See that?
You ever been up to the Blue Ridge Mountains?
I click this.
Yeah.
Then click this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have. Back east, the Blue Ridge.
Tennessee, North Carolina. These are all
Of course. I lived in North Carolina. That's right. Like Ashland, is that right? Or is that southeast?
It's set up, get it turned on.
Right, and just leave it.
Zero Res Denver will do your carpets without using any
harmful chemicals, soaps, or emulsifiers. That means your carpets get deep cleaned without that junk, so it won't leave behind residue. And what happens is they have this patented scrubbing technique that truly goes deep into the fibers and cleans them. They don't use as much water, so they get clean faster. They dry. They don't use as much water. They dry faster, stay clean longer. I know it. I've had it done in my home. ZeroResDenver.com. 303-471-5150. 303-471-5150. Right now, 3-room areas, just $99. Of course, you can add to that if you want. I have them do traffic areas often because it's such a great technique. And remember, you're not building up residue. And then I have them come in and do the whole house, maybe yearly, and you can too. But 3 areas, $99. 303-471-5150. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Remember, free market valuations of your home, way more accurate than Zillow or appraisals because they try to say what the value is based on, value. But they don't know what that house will sell for. Frank has an idea based on his 27 years of experience. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, complimentary market valuations. To decide if you want to list or not, there's no obligation. 303-920-1622.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding
It might survive, Tom.
And by the way, I just want to say something because it's not your fault, it's mine. But talking like this is just like talking like this. No difference. No difference when it comes to over the air. No difference whatsoever. And it interferes with me. But I don't mind you guys literally whispering. I mean, I'm not going to say you can't move. I don't give a shit if people move all over the place, deliver pizza or whatever. But the talking part, that low murmuring, fucks it up.
He was just trying to explain to me.
No, I don't care. I'm just telling you that it's just weird for me.
Right.
It's very distracting.
Okay.
Not moving.
The same game, but new rules. So get out there and win the home you want.
Okay, so when you did that, and Frank Duran was up
Joel,
so what does that do? Just
How active are you in that clinic?
We provide half the volume in there every month.
In what way? How do you do that?
By referring to so I work with them. So basically, the calls come to me when I return meetings.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I
shit, like you're not busy enough. No fooling. You do that?
Right.
You know, we're looking for a stem cell clinic here. We really are.
Yeah, Hiram told me that.
We really are. We could deliver.
I believe it.
Oh my God, this is what's going on. They had the wrong model. The wrong model. They wanted everyone to go to a seminar. Why put a separate step in there?
So here's the way that I do it, is I'm the one that answers every single lead. So they're not talking to a medical assistant or staff. They're talking to the owner of the clinic.
You ought to consider it. I would give you a break because you're doing two of them. I really would give you a break.
Two issues that I need to think about.
Yeah.
One is their capacity to handle a higher volume. Because I've had situations where I'm busy and they couldn't handle it. But I think they can now. They have a different doctor.
It'll build up anyway.
And my other concern is it's still me. And if well, I mean, I'm promoting as a public adjuster on your
Yeah, but nobody's going to,
you don't get to use your
name. Okay. I would just use the clinic. I mean, even if, people don't say, oh my God, he's into too many things. But I probably would.
Further the delay for the stream.
I would say
Denver source. I say Denver Regenerative Medicine.
And then if you also do regenerative fluids, I want you to know something. I'm not against them. As long as they're not told they're getting sensitive.
No, I'm telling you, like, I'm probably the second clinic after Centeno. I learned it from him.
Did you ever work?
Well, I was a patient. 13. And as a chiropractor, I referred people to him.
But you ought to think about it. And if you want to talk, I'll tell you exactly what we can charge. In fact, if you wanted to do it, I have in-house inventory. I could make you a fucking screaming deal. And I'll give commission. I would give him a commission because he brought you. In other words, I wouldn't screw hard.
No, I understand.
Because you know how I feel about that. So if you want to talk about it, I know I can give you a hell of a deal.
Okay. I'm going to keep that. This is what you think about it. Like you said, I'm slammed with this right now.
No, do whatever you want.
But I know I have no doubt.
I
have no doubt.
When I'm at home, I listen on the radio to the podcast.
It's like 12K a
3 minutes.
That's
what I'm talking about. Always. Even in the beginning.
Today's Chemtrail conspiracy day.
I hate it. He was trying to tell me when's the law. Well, decide. That's what he said.
Your neighborhood Pete store since 1899.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Group for free insurance checkups, 303-996-9000. Let's keep going here. Okay, Justin, you just had a company deny an insurance claim. Talk to me about it, Justin. We got our public adjuster on. That's from Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. Go ahead, sir.
How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good. It doesn't sound like you are. What's going on?
So, that big windstorm that came through, I think it was November or December, did some damage to my roof. And I called my insurance company to file a claim, which I've never done with them.
Who's your company? Who's your company?
USAA.
Okay. And what's going on? If I had to make a list of bad companies, they wouldn't be on the worst. They would be somewhere in the middle.
No,
they wouldn't be. They certainly wouldn't be the best. Anyway, go ahead.
So I called. I filed a claim. Told them I had some damage from the wind, the 120, 140 mile an hour winds we had out there.
So let's cut to the chase. Did they deny it?
Yeah, they denied it because they said I would have to pay a deductible of $6,000. I was like, why is my deductible $6,000?
I know why. Because you probably have a percentage of value, meaning whatever the house is valued at, you have a 2 or 3% override for your deductible, right?
Exactly, and I didn't find this out. That was never explained to me when I got the insurance.
It was written out. They're not stupid. They're tricky, but not stupid. Yeah. So hold on, though. Hold on and let's figure this out, okay? I don't know if there's any way around it. Hang on.
With a new year comes new ways to save big. Belco Credit Union and
$1% APY on a 24-month CD. To get that high rate, you typically need to be in a longer term. Stop by any Belco branch, 1-800-BELCO-1, or visit belco.org/CD to open a CD online in minutes. Membership is required. Conditions and restrictions apply. Insured by NC
Is the mic on, guys?
Right now, you want it off?
Turn to the experts. Plumline Services has been earning trust in Colorado since 1998, with a north location serving Boulder and Longmont. Schedule your service online. No phone call, no hassle, no wait. Plumline exudes excellence in every call with the highest of ethics. PlumlineServices.com. Service at home. Servants at heart.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver. An iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts. All in one.
ABC News, I'm Ike Ajachi. The men convicted in the murder of Ahmaud Arbery will be tried again on federal charges.
Another day of jury selection in the federal hate crimes trial of Travis and Gregory McMichael and William Rodney Bryant, already convicted in the killing of unarmed black jogger Ahmaud Arbery. The judge in the case is pushing for a pool of 36 potential jurors due to COVID concerns, and from there, the group will be reduced to 12 jurors plus 4 alternates. The 3 white men are already serving life sentences for their state murder convictions and could get life again on federal charges of violating the 25-year-old Arbery's civil rights, as well as attempted kidnapping and 2 firearms offenses. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
COVID cases continue to drop, but the CDC says the number is not enough to change mask guidelines yet. The CDC director says the 7-day average for daily cases is around 247,000. Still, some state officials say they will end mask mandates in schools later this month. This is ABC News. Employees and customers returned to a Colorado grocery store nearly a year after a deadly shooting.
As it reopens, a new King Soopers looks totally different. It's been remodeled 11 months after a gunman walked into the Boulder King Soopers store and killed 10 victims. Today, the community is returning. Jessica Trowbridge is with...
Right. Okay. With the mic on here so they can hear us talk. Right.
The store has new safety
So now we're off
enhancements.
the air.
King Soopers
No,
will
now
talk
we're
about
now
it. In
we're
the coming months,
we are
a garden
in
will be planted to
studio
remember
right now.
victims
Right.
who died. Stone, ABC News.
So when he gets on the
Games in Beijing, Lindsay Jacob Ellis won the first gold.
It's gonna get a poke up.
Taking the top spot in the snowboard cross.
Okay.
New study on how to live longer. Researchers say
Tommy, anything?
from a typical Western
Oh, yeah, you're going to the office?
diet,
Give me ghetto
meat
juice.
and
Ghetto
dairy
juice?
could add 10 or more
Ghetto
liters
juice.
to your
Anybody
diet.
else?
The key is eating more plant-based foods.
Mark.
Ike Ajachi, ABC News.
When a nasty cold
Doc,
hits
you're
you
probably
up,
gonna have to set it up.
Yeah.
it's not full
Okay.
severe gives you.
Well, then it won't work. Then it won't work.
Why?
Doing what?
Because if I'm not here.
Oh, that.
Basically, hot.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna
I
keep
think
on
he
working
might
to
have
make
done
this
that
fit
already.
where you can set it up.
He might have done that.
I'm working
What's his
on
last name?
Yeah,
But I'm just saying right now.
NyQuil Severe.
Would have been like
Nighttime
12
stiffness,
years ago.
wheezing, coughing,
I
sore
think
throat,
he had a
stuffy
stint
head,
where
aching,
he had done
especially
that.
for the cold medicine. Use this direct.
Angie Twist is now Angie, your home for everything home. With Angie, you can cross your next project off your to-do list before this ad is over. Tell us what you need, and we'll handle the rest. Sending a top pro to get it done. Or browse reviews, compare quotes from pros, and connect instantly, all for free. For everything from routine maintenance to a dream remodel.
Oh, thanks, man.
Because however you want your project done, we'll get it done. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
KHOW News
So that's what you do when we live. It's up and running. All you gotta do is watch it and switch. Watch it and switch. Watch it and switch. And pay attention when they want the mic off. Because
I know we have a number of people here who were in the store that day, here from the audience. I know that our entire community screams with you. And yes, today,
So the thing I would have to have a
celebrates
separate tablet here, so I can see my stuff.
And often in the parking lot with 10 trees that aren't
No problem.
lost.
The Broncos may have the first potential bidder. Byron Allen says he's had discussions with the league to become the NFL's first.
Byron Allen.
Yeah.
Plan to bid for the Broncos to Bloomberg News. The media mogul owns the Weather Channel and numerous TV stations. A skier in her 70s.
He got serious building early. Because he disappeared off the comic scene. The next time I saw him, he was like net worth up.
That's the latest. I'm Chuck Clark. Now, Impact Traffic.
So, Joe, you're a licensed chiropractor? What kind of school did you use for that?
To be a chiropractor?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's college and then like medical school.
Well, I'm asking because I didn't know. I don't know.
I mean, me personally, I have an undergraduate degree in microbiology, and then it was 3 years of chiropractic.
Oh, so it's 3 years. So chiropractic school is 3 years?
Yes.
Okay.
What's medical school?
4. But then you have to then you need a year of internship, and then 3 or 4 years.
If you're a surgeon.
No, even no matter what.
Practice doctor, it's a few years of residency.
So residency, my residency was 4 years. I think family practice is 3 years. Things like
turn off that computer for a second. Just real quick.
Yeah, right. So now we want to go back on the air as soon as he.
Troubleshooter's gonna help a common man. This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino on 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Roger, what's going on? What's happening, Roger?
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on my way. I got a 1:40 appointment for a core scan. I just want to let you know I'm on the way.
Hey, Roger,
and,
I hope they find absolutely nothing. Now, why did you decide to do it? Do you have anything in the family?
No, I don't. I'm going to turn 61 in March, and I just don't want something to catch me off guard. I feel great. I don't have any problems with my health, but just like you say all the time, something could be there and you're not aware of it.
Hey, do me a favor. Seriously, you'll probably get your results in a day. Just would you call us back if you don't mind and let us know what happened?
Yeah. I certainly will, because I'm just, this is all new to me. I want to see how easy it is. It sounds like it's going to be just maybe 15 or 20 minutes.
It'll be 15 or less. 15 or less. I'm really anxious to hear this because this is a real deal where he's going to get his core scan for the soft plaque, and then he's going to call us back and give us what the radiologist says. And, hey, no matter what, here's what I want to tell you, and I think this is something they have to emphasize more. I mean, when I went, I got the hell scared out of me until I realized,
you know, everyone has a certain degree, but 20% don't. So 80% of the people have something. 20% don't, but here's the great news. Seriously, you can fight it. Right. I mean, and I'm not just talking about regular statins. If it's serious, there are drugs now that can stop it in its tracks and literally start reversing it. So that's what's really cool. So, Suze, he can call back 303 Martino, right? He'll get right through. 303 Martino or whatever number. Brad O'Brien Legal Services, our legal mind for real estate. He's an attorney, Brad O'Brien. Hey, Brad, olslaw.com. I love the website. It's easy to remember. Now, I want to know this. This is weird. If this woman she was going to refi, and she had a lien show up. She has no idea how old the lien is, but the bill comes from way back. Like, I think she had a second on her home, somehow stopped paying on it. And here's the thing. There's about $33,000 unpaid. But I want to know this, Sheila. This is what's really important. What kind of a lien is it? Is it a judgment lien, or is it an actual deed of trust on your home? Because you say they wrote it off. And a lot of times, Brad, people write off a debt and take it on their taxes saying it's uncollectible, but then later on in life that deed of trust gains value because prices went up and they can choose to go after it. I mean, there's no law that says they can't simply because they wrote it off. I believe they can just claim it as income then. But you may correct me on that. But on Sheila, is it a second deed of trust or is it simply a lien? What is it?
So when I originally purchased the home, they did a first mortgage and a second mortgage, so I didn't have to pay mortgage insurance, okay? And so after Bank of America and all these other people took the loan, not because I wasn't behind, because I was constantly paying on time. So during the recession, I actually took, under the Obama plan, and so they refinanced it, and so that is when they said, okay, it's go. But anyway, nevertheless, the $43,000 that they say that I owe, I connected with Arch, the debt collector, and overall, because I wanted the money to purchase the equipment.
I get it.
Yeah, he said, I will make a payment plan with you. I said, okay, cool. I'll do the payment plan.
But hold on. You're going way far ahead, Sheila, because here's what I'm getting at. If it's not a lien, if they somehow release that deed of trust, they can't simply put one back on there or they might be able to trick you into signing a new note, which you may be out of because of a statute of some kind. Brad, what do you think is going on?
Well, I've seen a lot of situations like this recently where second loans from the 2007 through 9 time frame were never payments were never made on them, and then all of a sudden people want to sell their house now or refinance now, and then now they're popping up. So a mortgage or deed of trust secures a promissory note. If the promissory note gets extinguished, then the lien of the deed of trust or mortgage also becomes extinguished. And the statute of limitations on a note is 6 years, but on the deed of trust is 15 years. So I can't tell you right now the status of the note. If the note is not collectible, then the deed of trust should not be enforceable. However, I suspect that the note is still collectible, even though you haven't made payments on it. And if that's true, that lien probably is still a lien against your house.
Well, here's what I want to ask, Brad. I know that unpaid bills, you lose the ability to get a judgment after 6 years, but if they have a deed of trust, that doesn't expire, right?
Well, there is a statute of limitations on deed of trust, which is 15 years if another statute of limitations does not apply, like the 6 years on promissory notes.
Wait a minute. So it could be that the statute of limitations ran out on this, either on the deed of trust or the note itself.
Yeah. This caller didn't declare bankruptcy at any time, did she?
No, she did not.
Okay.
No.
Sheila, you should really make an appointment on the phone or Zoom or something with Brad. It's worth an hour. I'm serious, because he can tell. Let's just see if the original promissory note is still within the statute of limitations. Brad, are you telling me if they have a deed of trust, which has not expired, but they have a note
that did expire under the statute of limitations for non-payment after 6 years, they have to remove that deed of trust?
Yeah.
Sheila, do you know what I'm going to bet? Here's what I'm going to bet. I'm going to bet that was from the Great Recession. You stopped paying. It lay dormant. It lay dormant, but it still shows on an O&E, which is a title search, and they're trying to trick you into making a new agreement. Brad, that's what it sounds like to me.
That's exactly what my husband said.
Brad, is that something that you have found in the past that could be?
Yes, but what the trick is here, and the reason that borrowers are still on the hook in these situations, in my experience, is that the 6 years of statute of limitations is tacked onto the final payment of the note. So if it's a 20-year HELOC, it's not 6 years from when you missed your first payment. It's from the maturity date 20 years out. So it's really like 26 years later.
Oh, it's not a 6 year of dormancy.
It depends on how the promissory note is written, but lenders are smart now, and they're writing them so that the maturity date says all payments ever now or ever due, and that basically
yeah, I see. It basically stops the statute from tolling until the note is due.
It actually tolls the statute of limitations until the maturity date, which is probably 15, 20,
right,
30
yeah,
years
it stops it from starting.
Exactly.
Okay, so Sheila, here's what you need. I'm serious. Okay. You need to call Brad right now and see, I mean, seriously, this is where an attorney is needed. So olslaw.com, and let me get you his number here, Brad O'Brien, and this is exactly why people need attorneys. 720-370-7388. Suze, make sure she got that off the air, and then we can figure this out. And that's olslaw.com. Okay. Joe, I can't help but take this comment. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, Tom to Joe, I've listened to you a long time. I haven't called in a while, but I had a comment, but then I had a thought. First, you're talking about this plaque, artery.
Yeah.
I had that done, probably a different company, by my doctor.
But I'm not talking about, I'm talking about soft plaque, not calcium. Go ahead.
No, this isn't calcium. Well, maybe it is, but I had my arteries scanned. They scan, and it found out that I had one artery had more buildup. I was 6 years older than I should have, like an 81-year-old.
Yeah.
My doctor had the same thing. My holistic doctor. She said, Joe, I had the same thing. I was 5 years older, my artery, than it should have been. What she did, and look this up on Google, it's incredible. Pomegranate seeds, pomegranate
good.
Juice,
that's great. I will look that up. I'm always
Google.
looking.
It reduce it faster than drugs. Now, my comment, Tom, you got me scared. You got me scared. Somebody's trying to kill me with all these people talking about that stuff. I'm not worried about that. I'll tell you what I'm worried about. I'm worried about Bill Gates. Bill Gates is one of the biggest investors in that, what you're talking about climate control, about blocking out the sun so our Earth will cool. The problem I've heard with that is what area are you going to block out? What crops are you going to destroy because you're blocking out the sun? The other thing Bill Gates is doing, he's buying up, he will own shortly more farms than anybody in this country. He's trying to control our atmosphere, and he's trying to control our food supply.
A lot of people, by the way, I've heard this going around the internet a lot. A lot of people feel that Bill Gates is like some super power-hungry, crazy person involved.
Out of control.
Do you realize that they say he was involved in meetings about pandemics and vaccinations and controlling the information 20 years ago? 20 years ago. Now, by the way, here's how I separate that from conspiracy theorists. There are real records of Bill meeting with people and investing in it. So there's no secret that he's a major investor in this. Now, he'll tell you he's doing it through his foundation for the good of mankind, which I'm not going to question his motives. But anyway, look, there's enough conspiracies to go around.
This tax filing season could be one.
If he has something more, I'll go back to him.
There are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table.
I got to get this claim. Justin was the. Oh no, that was the. Oh, we got to talk about that. Oh shit, he hung up. Shit. Wait, Justin. Hey, is this Justin?
Okay, I love you.
We haven't forgotten. He had some ideas for you, so hang on. We'll come back to you. Hold on. Okay, you hang on. We will. Good. That's the guy. Good.
I love BlakeHarrisLaw.com because you can ask questions without getting charged, and you can decide what you need, and then you know what to hire them for. That's what it's all about, information giving and helping and advocating. Then if you hire Blake Harris Law for estate planning, he will charge you flat rates based on what he does. It could be a simple will. It could be a will in a combination with a trust, because you always need a will. And then you might want to do a beneficiary's deed, or you may want to do something else. Whatever it is, BlakeHarrisLaw.com can help you. 833-ASK-BLAKE. 833-ASK-BLAKE. All right. We have talked about Simply Floors. Why? I'm going to count the ways. Buddy and Karen Mitchell are the owners. They, in themselves, are experts at floors and can help you decide what you need. They have a variety of carpets in all price ranges. You don't always need the highest or the lowest. You also have a number of LVTs, luxury vinyl tile, and hardwoods, including laminates and engineered floors. They're experts. Then they have design consultants who they assign to you that will help you with your whole project to coordinate those floors. And then you have the best installers. And then I didn't even mention pricing. The best prices that we found, sometimes 10, 20, 30% off the big boxes. Simply Floors Inc. That's INC. Make your own appointment. SimplyFloorsInc.com. All right. You heard this guy. He's on his way to core scans to get it done. We're going to wait to see what they find. I hope he's in the minority, which have no problems. I hope he wastes that $189. But I urge you to have it done, truly. And then let me know what they find. 720-740-2663. Core is spelled without the E for the purposes of the website. CoreScans.com. 720-740-2663.
Welcome to Mi Casa, Catherine.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is.
Oh, my, is that a real Picasso?
No, don't touch it.
It's covering a...
So I never heard about that climate thing before, really. I've never heard about it. That reduction, or whatever they call that.
You've seen the greenhouse gases?
Yeah. That's really cool that they're doing this research to help us. My what? The scientists are actually looking for ways to make it better.
Make what better?
To make global warming better. I mean, to make global warming.
What about it?
I know. Stop. Yeah.
We'll just turn it off. Just turn off the heater. What's wrong with you guys? You didn't know that?
I like black out this stuff.
I want you to tell them that I sent you and you get a free, no obligation mortgage review. I promise you they're not going to pressure you, and they certainly won't charge you that front or the fee. If you like what you hear from my friends, they'll design a custom loan to fit your budget and your needs. And they might help you skip 2 payments if you want to do that. So why not call? Ask for anyone who's a friend of Uncle Brown, and they'll get you started in only 10 minutes. Give a call. Ask for anyone who used to work with me, and you can qualify for free when you call 303-695-7000. 303-695-7000. Or visit online. American Finances.
So now we have parents of school children and now truckers added to the domestic terrorist list.
What are truckers doing?
They're
not wearing masks?
No, they're barricading the border up there between New York and between the U.S. and Canada.
Wow.
ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack. Meanwhile, 4 other top employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/crime. That's ZipRecruiter.com/crime.
ZipRecruiter.com.
Diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress.
good night's rest helps restore health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed effortlessly adjusts and responds to both.
Do.
This report is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
Partly sunny skies with temperatures in the low 50s for your Wednesday. Overnight down in the mid-20s, and then Thursday mild near 60 degrees with sunshine before another chance for snow on Friday. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Burr.
The Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Square Sweepstakes is giving out millions in prize money. And best of all, it's free to enter. It's the largest game of Super Bowl Squares ever from America's largest mortgage lender. Enter for free at rocketmortgagesquares.com.
Denver's talk station, 630 KL.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This is a true story. I got an email. The email said, Tom, you're not going to believe this comparison. I had somebody quote me a water system for 10 grand, and I have screwed up water. Even your guy said it was screwed up water, Paul the Waterman. He said it was screwed up. And that's at waterpros.net. So I needed a little more than the average system, so it cost me 4 grand. But I saved, they were quoting around 10 grand. He quotes 4. Think about that. Real testimony to waterpros.net. The best systems at the best prices. Now, let's keep going here. Justin says his claim was denied. It really wasn't denied. What it was is an actual cash value. Well, is yours the one with the percentage of value deductible? No, yours is the one with the actual cash value. Okay. Your roof was insured for actual cash value. Is that right, Justin? Yeah. So what that means is they take your roof, and then they take how old it is, they depreciate it. Then they see how much, the damage is. And then they subtract the depreciation. And they said, good news, 10 grand for your roof damage, but we're going to offer you $750. Now, if you are insured for the roof, for ACV only, there's nothing you can do about it. That's what you're insured for. But there are ways to make that better through a public adjuster. Joel, talk about that. First, you want to make sure that they estimated the damage properly, right?
Right. Well, what they're going to do is they're going to come out with their own people, and they're going to write an estimate for the roof that's going to be significantly under what the actual market value is currently. Because I see that across the board, especially now, because of the cost of materials and whatnot. They use their own internal pricing software, which is significantly undervalued. So even if you have an ACV policy, and even if you have a deductible that's a percentage of that, you want to get that ACV number to be as close to accurate as possible, which is going to be significantly higher than what most insurance companies are going to say it's valued at. So using a public adjuster, you'll be able to get that number to be where it should be, and then that's going to change the amount of ACV money that you're going to get back. So that will actually increase the value of your claim.
There's something else, though, too, right? Other damages that they may not even be considering, right?
Well, if they've agreed to replace the whole roof, they've agreed to replace the whole roof. If they haven't, Justin, have they agreed to replace your whole roof?
We never even got to that point. So they told me the value was based on the total value of my house, which is $6 grand to the percentage.
Oh, wait, this is the different one. Never mind. You're not the actual cash value. That other guy, I'm sorry, I have you mixed up with the other caller, okay? The other caller had the actual cash value roof. For that, you want to make sure all of the damage is being contemplated, and I don't just mean the roof. I mean the eaves, the soffit, the gutters, the siding, maybe windows. I mean, if you had a bad storm.
Right.
The other one is that they're calculating the damage properly. Now, on yours, that's different. On yours, you have a totally different situation that's catching a lot of people in trouble. I'm catching a lot of people, where they're in trouble, and that is you have a percentage of value deductible. That means that they take the value of your home, and what is yours, 2% or 3%?
I think it's 2%. My house is worth $400,000, so they came up with a $6,000 deductible, and my roof's only was quoted by an independent contractor that I hired. They give me a quote for $5,000. It's only 12 or 14 squares.
So you have no coverage.
Essentially. And then the other issue, technically, I really don't have coverage because USA, come to find out, doesn't insure modular or prefabs, and that's what my house is one of those. But they insured me anyway. But then they told me that during the process of filing the deductible, technically they were supposed to outsource me to their third-party company that they work with to underwrite my insurance for my house. Because USA directly is not supposed to be insuring my house because it's a prefab and or modular.
But what does that have to do with anything as far as the coverage?
Oh, no, that's another thing I found out when I was trying to get my roof replaced from the damage, was that technically USA is not supposed to insure my house.
But
it's supposed to be another person.
But what? So how would that help you?
I don't know. That
won't help you. I don't think it'll help you.
Yeah, basically, Justin, unless the value of the damage to your home is above that $6,000 mark, then you really don't have any coverage, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the way it's written, honest to God, you got screwed, and you need to figure that out. I'm serious, and I don't mean to make that a bad. I mean, I don't. Oh, man, there's nothing we can do about a contract that's bad. We can only help you get the most out of your contract and your coverage and all of that. Lynn, you wanted to talk about core scans. Go ahead, Lynn.
Yeah, I was listening to you talking to the last guy. I went to core scans a couple weeks ago. They were off. It took about 15 minutes.
What did they find?
They said I needed to talk to my doctor. The buildup, I guess, was concerning, so they said I need to go talk to my doctor, so I have an appointment on Friday.
Okay. Now, I want to give you a little warning. Are you going to a regular family doctor or general,
No, he's an internal medicine doctor.
Yeah, same thing. He's not a cardiologist. And
no.
I'm just going to say something. Many doctors don't know the danger of soft plaque, and they don't take it as seriously, nor do they know about the new treatments for soft plaque.
Okay, so cardiologist would be better?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you go to your internist and say, is this concerning? It's soft plaque. And if you don't think it is, why? And if he says get an EKG, he's an idiot, because that's not going to tell you anything. It's going to tell you, okay, so what you need is someone who understands what this can do, not what it's doing now. It's remarkable how many people are near death and have no symptoms. That's the problem with soft plaque. So, you see, if he says, well, you can run, you do this, you do that, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about some serious stuff here if it is clogged up. Did they give you an arthritic age?
Yeah, 61.
How old are you?
I'm 60.
Oh, wait a minute. You're 60 and your arthritic age is 61?
Yeah, that's what the report said.
Well, then you have hardly anything, Lynn.
He said that ideally my arthritic age should be 50.
Well, yeah, no, ideally I'd like it to be 26, but it's not going to be. I mean, listen, I'm not saying they don't know what they're talking about, but what I'm saying is you probably can control this very easily.
Yeah, that's what the report said. It's
good.
controllable.
So you're probably, okay, we're talking some mild treatment, maybe statins. Some people don't like statins. Again, statins are another thing with this conspiracy thing on what they do. Statins are pretty safe, but I'm not going to diagnose medicine. Talk to your doctor. Would you let us know what he says?
Yes, I will.
Good, because we like to educate our audience as well as, do this stuff. We love to hear results. Good, thank you.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
Seeing the usual volume slowing on westbound 270 through Commerce City, and there's a new crash on northbound 225 just before Colfax, quickly jamming things on that stretch. It's sluggish on westbound I-70 between Colorado and the Coliseum. I-25, though, in good shape on your drive through the metro area, and off-freeway roadwork backing things up on eastbound Arapahoe at Potomac. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, a mix of clouds and sun this afternoon. Will drop down into the mid-20s overnight tonight. Mostly sunny tomorrow for your Thursday with a high in the mid-50s. Some scattered snow showers possible on Friday and 44 for a high. It's 54 right now in Denver. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
Unjunk your sleep during the President's Day sale at Mattress Firm. Shop now and get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with purchase. Don't miss hot buys like beds starting at just $1.
Let's talk.
Let's talk about what's on your mind. Is it pain? ColoradoPainCare.com is where I go for my pain. Colorado Pain Care Sport and Spine. My God, you might listen to this show and think, Tom's always at a doctor. I'm not, but I really do go to Colorado Pain Care when something flares up. They help me with chronic pain, which did not come back, and they're helping me now and then when I do a sports injury. And they can help you, too. They have a concentration on pain, of course, and they have natural therapies. They have invasive therapies. They have physical therapy, doctorate level. ColoradoPainCare.com. Jess, you will really love these people, seriously. They have 2 locations with everything under one roof, one in South Colorado Boulevard, another one in Lakewood. You call and mention Martino, you get a free stainless steel water bottle on your first visit. So that's ColoradoPainCare.com, 303-GOT-PAIN, 303-GOT-PAIN. All right, the Art of Granite, you've heard me talk about him. Get your price on the phone. Why would he do that? Because it's easy. He does a wholesale on his materials, so it's a matter of square footage. Then he charges for fabrication and installation, a matter of square footage. The tear out and haul away he doesn't charge for. He doesn't charge for the bathroom when he does the kitchen, and wholesale on all materials, so get your price on the phone. TheArtOfGranite.com, 303-386-5919. For a limited time, free sinks, 303-386-5919.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey.
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
What's done more to...
I don't know, but I'll tell you what. They got rid of all that kneeling shit this year.
Yep.
You don't see any
They
of
don't
that
play
shit.
the anthem.
You don't see any bullshit, man.
Because they don't play the anthem when the teams are on the field.
They made that change.
They
Right?
did that on purpose.
Yeah.
And they don't televise
The
it.
season.
See, that's weird, though. When I went to the Broncos game not long ago, we definitely stood for the anthem.
Yeah, but it was before the players were out there.
Oh, okay. I
So
didn't.
that's what they do.
That's what they do. They do it before the players are introduced.
You know what? You're right, because the big flag was out.
Right.
Now, why didn't they just do that years ago?
That was a quick, seamless way to
It was
It's very, yeah, you just end it.
Right. It took all the
It takes all of
all
this
the
to
publicity out of it.
realize what to do.
What?
I say it takes all of this to realize what to do.
Yeah.
See, we'd rather poorly
But why
react
do
first.
they even play an anthem before a game?
We would rather poorly react first, okay? The history, the anthem has always been there.
But why?
Who knows?
That's what I would love to.
But you got to go back to the beginning.
I know.
Who knows
All the
why?
fucking nuts are emailing me now
About what?
guess.
Course scan?
Chemtrail.
Of course.
conspiracy.
Mark, I learned how to run a marquee. I'm running a marquee from from YouTube into the video. What they're typing, I can put it in the video. It's kind of cute.
Yeah, you can grab any web page.
No. You literally a marquee across the bottom, a crawler, running this data.
Of whatever they're putting in.
Yeah.
Have you put up a website before, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, so you want to hear my next money-making idea? So they had this word game called Wordle. Have you seen it?
Yeah. You were so... I hate it. I hate it.
Wait. The the New York Times bought it for a couple $100,000, right?
Yep.
I have a game, a word game, that I'm going to sell to the New York Times.
Yeah.
Seriously, we used to play it in college. You would pick a 5-letter word.
You shouldn't say it on me.
Okay.
Skin.
She'll love slipping these on every night. They are so soft and luxurious, they'll melt away her stress. She'll love the feeling of wearing next to nothing at all, and you'll love the way they look. Check them out at pajamagram.com. Best of all, every pajamagram includes free gift packaging, which means you don't have to wrap a thing. So get her naturally nude pajamas. Just go to pajamagram.com or text the word GIFT, that's GIFT, to 41234. Again, text the word GIFT to 41234 to order naturally nude pajamas. It's fast, it's easy, and delivery by Valentine's Day is guaranteed.
Your insurance company hired an adjuster. Shouldn't you? As the oldest, largest, and most respected public adjusting firm, Adjusters International stands ready to work with you as your partner in recovery. Our team of private adjusters represents homeowners and business owners, never insurance companies. And our time and resources are dedicated solely to you. So don't stress. Don't wait. Call today at 800-248-3888. That's 800-248-3888.
It's the Dan Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Wednesday at 4. Talk about a natural high. New polling showing the GOP can win both the governor's race and the U.S. Senate race. So what is that path to victory? And I'll make the case why Coloradans across party lines should support the Doug Coe School Board. Join me at 4.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-8255. Don't forget, Genesis Total Exteriors also does solar. Some people have been asking about solar, which is truly still viable. And Genesis is a great company, a 25-year guarantee on all components, performance guarantee as well. GenesisSolarCO.com, GenesisSolarCO.com. Megan, you need some advice. What happened? Megan.
Hi.
Hi. What's going on?
Yesterday I caused the world's smallest car accident.
How?
I stopped at a light, and then I turned around to give my daughter something, and I had taken my foot off the brake without knowing it, and I rolled into the car in front of me.
Okay. And what's going on now?
Well, I exchanged information with the lady. We talked that she was going to call me after work. She couldn't see any visible damage. She had to wash her car off. There was some old damage.
I hope you took pictures.
I have a picture. I have a voice recording of her saying that was old damage. Well, 3 hours later, I get a call from my insurance company wanting to know about the accident. So I don't know what she's claiming yet. My agent didn't know at the time that she talked to me. But I feel like now this lady's trying to commit insurance fraud to get a new tailgate to fix some old damage.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. Your insurance company will fight it.
Okay. So, I mean, then that's why I have insurance. I'm just a little grumpy at this lady.
It's not going to matter if they pay out $1,000 or $5,000. I mean, it's not going to affect you any differently.
Well, what do you mean by that, Mark? What do you mean?
I mean,
you don't care if she's doing fraud.
No, I'm not saying I don't care. I'm saying it's not going to affect her.
It's a chargeable accident, Megan, which he means is if they pay $1,000 to get just that damage fixed, or they pay $5,000 to replace the whole tailgate, it doesn't have any ill effect on you. Now, if you don't like the idea of them paying more than they have to just because it's bad, then you can fight it.
And if it did have like a little dent or something on the tailgate, then when you hit it, all of a sudden the tailgate's not functional. They owe you a tailgate, regardless if there was damage.
Megan, I don't know. Are you worried? First and foremost, do you have well, no, there's no deductible on liability. So why do you care? What do you care if she gets $1,000 or $5,000? Why do you care?
Well, I don't know if my rates are going to go up.
Your rates will go up no matter what. If you've had other, it depends on how.
Lady called your insurance company, your rates basically are going up.
It all depends. Some of them have accident forgiveness, or they have so many per year or per 3 years, or it really depends on how your contract or how your insurance company writes its, how the underwriters do it. It really depends. Who's your insurance? Yeah. Who's your insurance?
It's through Progressive. It's a commercial policy.
Progressive might give you a pass on one accident. They might.
Okay. It just, you know what? I know I did the accident. It just doesn't feel right to me that I'm getting her a new tailgate for something that was there before. And if that's what I've got to live with, it is. I just don't know if there's anything I can say to my insurance company to help them.
Yeah, send them the recording and send them the picture. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I've done that, so cool.
I would love to hear what happens. 303-713-8255. Hey, Lynn. What's going on, Lynn? Lynn?
I might have the wrong name, Tom.
Oh, I'm sorry. How about you calling about your car purchase? Who is this?
Oh, this would be Howard Smith.
Howard, are you calling about the dealership problem?
Yes, sir, I am.
What's going on, Howard?
Well, I went to a reputable dealership after, researching them and doing the homework, and got my bill ratio to my earning ratio in check, went down there with an 800 credit score and $10,000 cash in my hand, handed it to them, lowered my payments to $390, bought me a pretty nice Silverado.
Good.
And about 13 days later, it blew up. And it was, and they just,
wait. What? Was this a new one?
Well, no, it was a 2013, but it was in really good shape with 115,000 miles.
Well, okay. And it blew up. How many days later?
13 days. On the 14th day, I brought it back. And so I asked...
When you say blew up, you have to give me a specific. What happened to it?
They have an inherent... they just settled a lawsuit, GM did, with these lifters they're using that shut down 4 of the cylinders for fuel economy. And they're defective, and they cause rather catastrophic damage when they go.
So the engine blew.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So they took the truck back. They charged me $30, and said, "Well, we're only going to give you $11,000 for a trade-in, but the $10,000 you put down is just gone. That's just gone. It's not going to the new truck that you're going to try to purchase." That's going to be applied to your new loan as something like negative credit or something.
Well, but here's what, let's just not complicate it, Howard, okay? Because going back to the same dealer complicates it, so let's pretend it's just anybody, okay? What they're saying is, Howard, you bought a used truck, and it was worth a certain amount of money when you bought it, and now it's worth $10,000 less, or whatever. How much do you owe on it right now?
Well, I had just bought it, so would that be minus the 11,000?
No, I just need to know your loan. What's your loan?
Oh, it was for just under 30,000.
The loan is 30, let's say. What is did you have a trade-in?
Yes, I traded in a 2007 Lexus RX 350.
Did it have a positive effect or negative effect?
Well, they gave me $1,700 for it.
Okay, hold on. Plus $1,700. They gave you $1,700, right? Okay. Then how much did you put down?
$10,000 cash.
Okay. Now you add all that up. So what is that? So you have 30 plus 10, 40, 41.7. 41.7. Yeah. That's your basis. Okay. That's your basis. Don't be fooled by anything else. Your basis in that truck is 41.7. All right? Okay. So now you have to do this. You have to ask yourself, if I have a $41,700 basis, how much are they giving you for a trade?
Yeah, they said $1,700.
Wait. No. I'm talking about trading in this Silverado, the 2013.
I apologize. They said they would give me like $11,000.
Okay, so why do you think you're just losing 10? You're losing way more than 10. You're losing $31,000 or $30,000. You're losing $30,000.
Wow.
Well, of course you are. You have a $41,000 investment, right?
Yes.
Are they going to pay off that loan? In other words, are they only giving you truly $10,000? So what are you going to do about the loan? What are you going to do about the $30,000 loan if they only give you $10,000?
The person that gave me the loan, the company, told me that I have to make my first payment on that one and the one on the Sierra coming up on this month.
But what happens? Hold on. After the transaction is done and you go out the door, will you owe 2 car loans?
As it stands currently, yes, until they pay off the Silverado.
Well, hold on. Are they going to pay off the 30? Because if they're going to pay off the 30, then giving you 30 for your trade, how much are they going to give you for that Silverado again?
Well, I'm going to know for an amount certain as soon as Belco sends me the letter.
Do you understand, Howard? Hold on. You got to hold on.
He doesn't understand numbers. If they give him 10 grand and pay off the truck, they're giving him 40 grand.
Well, they're not. Why would they do that?
We need to find out what they're actually threatening to do.
I think what they're saying is they're going to pay off the truck that was brought in. They can, instead of giving him $11.75, they're going to only give him 11. So it's a new truck.
Why are they going to pay it off, though?
Well, because he had $10,000 cash plus $1,700 for his trade-in, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to pay off the old truck because they.
But the 10 grand went to them, not to the bank. That he has a $30,000 loan.
Yeah, why would they give him 30? Why would they give him 40,000? Why would they do that?
Because if the truck was under warranty, don't they have to take it back? And they're taking it back.
No, they don't have to take it back. It had 115,000. I know of no 13 Silverado with 115,000 that has a warranty.
No.
Not one.
So
not
don't
one.
dealers give you like a 30-day warranty or something?
Let's talk.
You can go to a big firm, the ones who brag about settlements, or you can go to John Fuller. John Fuller, Fuller Law for personal injury. Not only do you get free legal advice up front on what your case is worth and how to collect it and what you should do, with no obligation. But if you hire him, it's on contingency. But here's the deal. He gives you a cell number, and he takes seriously what he does for you. And he gives you that cell number so you can be in complete communication. John Fuller is there for you. Not only for information, but to fight for you, even if it has to go to court. Now, listen, you have a lot of big firms that brag about how big they are. He brags about how small he is because he can give you personalized attention. John Fuller, 303-597-4500. Call for free legal advice and attention, not just a number. 303-597-4500. Colorado Pain Care, Sport and Spine. I've said it before, I'll say it again. They will get you out of pain. They work immediately on the pain. They don't wait for studies. They don't wait for long tests. They look at your medical records and start something right away. They have physical therapy. They have a minorly invasive procedure they can give you right away, like a trigger point injection just to get you over the hump. They have other things like spinal cord stimulators and other methods. But here's the point. They work with insurance. They work with all your other stuff, pain people, not your own medical people, I mean, but they concentrate on the pain. You get, by the way, a free water bottle, stainless steel, when you mention Tom, and make your first visit, and they'll give it to you at the first visit. Colorado Pain Care, Sport and Spine. That's 303-GOT-PAIN. 303-GOT-PAIN. If you're looking to sell your house, how do you know what to list it for? Or what if you want to stay there and fix it up, and it'll be even worth better and more? Whatever it is, you may want to get the advice of Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. It's complimentary. If you're thinking about listing, he'll let you know what he thinks it will sell for based on comps, other sales, that is, measurements, pictures, and it's all free. And you're not obligated to list with him. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
With a new year comes new ways to save big. Belco
Union is offering 1% APY on a 24-month CD on balances of $500 or more. That's right, 1% APY on a 24-month CD. To get that higher rate, you typically need to be in a longer term.
There's something we're not hearing about.
If he returned, if they took the car back, why would he still have a loan on it if he no longer owns the car?
Well, that's what I have to know. If they're taking him back, giving him 10 on top of what he owes, then they're giving him 40 grand for that truck. You know,
what do they think they're going to sell it for?
I think he's wrong.
Okay. I mean,
and he keeps saying, well, I put 10 down. But, man, But that 10 down is the 10 they're giving you back.
But if they take the truck back, the loan is canceled, and they apply their $10,000 towards a new truck, then he's okay, right? Isn't that
in this situation? I don't know why they would ever take the truck back at all.
Because what if we had a 30-day warranty on it? If it was a reputable deal and they gave him a 30-day or a 2-week warranty or a 20-day warranty,
find out.
That's what you need to find out. But assume they take the truck back, Tom. The loan is canceled. They give him. They take.
Well, then the loan is not necessarily canceled.
Well, if he doesn't own the car anymore,
but they might take that 30 and put it in this new fucking loan. You can't assume that.
So they have a $70,000 loan.
Well, you can't assume it. Well, they're not. I mean, I heard nothing of them paying off that loan.
Okay, let's find out.
What are they doing with the 40?
But I think they're taking the truck back. They're canceling the loan and they're putting the $10,000 cash towards the second truck that now he has another $30,000 loan on. That's what I think is happening.
Get started at Orchard.com. This is Fred Dykes. We're always looking forward to the new year, and we've got something else in the That's right. You can now borrow more money whether you're buying or refinancing and still access.
Maybe the credit union's going to take the difference, build it into one loan.
That was just what was said before you came here.
So he's going to have like an $80,000 loan, not a $40,000.
That was our speculation.
I think if they take the car back, the loan is canceled. How can he have a loan on a car he doesn't own?
How can he have a
Well, what happens if I have no insurance on my car and someone steals it, and I have a car payment? The car payment doesn't.
Well, I think that's different than knowing who has the title to your car.
He bought the car, Doc. I mean, the car is his.
But if the dealer's taking it back, then they own the car.
If they pay off the loan.
Right, well, let's find out.
Well, that's what they're going to do. They're going to build a negative equity into the new deal.
Maybe.
He's going to have an $80,000 loan on a $40,000 car.
But what if we have the 30-day warranty?
Well, then we have to see. The chances of that.
Then I don't even know why he's calling.
That's right.
Well, let's find out. Because he doesn't understand it, or we don't understand it.
I understand everything.
Or because you're never wrong.
Thank you.
You know that's a given.
You know, here's the
deal. You know when you do math problems or geometry problems, you have some tenets like you're given the fact that A is equal to B, right? And then you prove from that.
Hold on.
So with more
303-713-TALK.
303-713-8255. I got to ask a very simple question. Okay, here's my first question. Did the truck have a warranty of any kind, Howard, from the dealership?
I did purchase a warranty, yeah.
What, did it cover the engine?
Major components of the engine, but that was about it. That and the tranny.
Well, what I'm asking you is this covered, the damage that just happened?
To the original Silverado, you know, it never.
What do you mean the original? Did you already do the trade?
Yes.
Oh my God! Well, I don't know if we can help you. You already did the trade. Here's what I need to know. I know that you were into that other truck for $41,700. Here's what I want to know right now. This is all just raw numbers. The new truck you're in right now. What's the loan on it?
54.
54. So, and then 54 loan, and how much did you didn't put any down, that you just got the truck. Did you put any additional money other than the 10 you originally put in?
No.
Okay, so right now you didn't put any money in it, and you walked away with a $54,000 loan instead of a $30,000 loan. So that tells me, listen carefully, you walked away with a $54,000 loan, all right? Now, you paid $10,000 down on that. That's $64,000, all right? And so $64,000, okay? I should have said minus the trade. So let's just say $63,000, let's say, is your basis, or 63. So how much is that truck worth?
That's a good question.
You're into that truck for 63, okay? They made you pay them another $24,000 in addition to the 10 by putting it on your loan. We can talk tomorrow if you want and analyze it more.
This guy had...
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. Leland Conway is next on Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive